Park Showground, so they're looking to bounce back to winning ways. While Mid Machine lost by 47 points to 3 against Harlequins at the University of Nairobi grounds. So both teams with a lot to prove, with a point to prove and a win. Hopefully the game resumes. Levis Ochieng there takes the ball into contact. Mabwa Sine with a good kick here. Is that a knock-on? And it's a costly error here. And Willis Otieno thought he had scored a try there, but I don't think he has actually grounded the ball. I think he went over the line. Anthony Abono going for a quick tap. And the referee, I think, will call it back for the first knock-on. There was a knock-on there as Ian Mabwa and Anthony Abono fight over the ball. That kick by Filden Sene really was a good kick, and the Machine fullback Valentine Odoyo couldn't grasp it there. You can see it bounced off his chest, so I don't know if that is technically a knock-on. And then there was an attempt by the likes of Oregon Kangede to try and get the ball, but that ball went out of play, and it's going to be a scramble to Nondies here with 23 minutes gone. Otieno or William Otieno has kicked the ball too much here, and here come Nondies here. Steve Odhiambo trying to shrug off a couple of 1 or 2 defenders there from Mid Machine, and the referee once again penalizes Nondies. Good work at the breakdown there by Shadon Munoko, and the referee Douglas Ngetich just telling the players to calm down. The man in the picture is the Machine coach Ramsfield Matekwa. That's a very pensive figure.
Of course, following the proceedings keenly here, I wonder what his halftime talk to the team will be all about. But Machine so far have done well to weather the storm, as that ball just lands not too far from the commentary booth.
Yeah, it just lands not too far from the commentary booth. And Michael Campbell was saying earlier, Nondies not really executing very well when they get to the red zone. Been penalized a couple of times by Douglas Ngetich, either at the breakdown or a handling error or a wonky line out. Good take there by the second row there from Mid Machine, Brian Koina. And the referee's arm is out for offside from Nondies. And I think the penalty count now must be 6 or 7 penalties that Nondies have conceded in this opening 24-25 minutes of this game. It's really climbing. And Mid Machine will be the happy of the two sides as we enter into the final 15 minutes. And Nondies and Machine opting to go for a penalty deep in their own half here. It's a 40 to 45 meter penalty for Mid Machine.
And it's that man Festus Shiasi tasked with the kicking duties. Remember, his kick on 13 minutes put Machine 3-0 up. This is a big kick from close to the center of the park. Does he have the power and accuracy to deliver this kick between the sticks and double the lead for Machine? But this is interesting from Shiasi. It was high, of course, lacked the power to go all the way, and fielded by the Nondies backs, who in turn find territory that and ease off the pressure that had been mounting.
I'm just thinking probably Machine should have actually gone for territory and look for a line out deep in Nondies' territory, and probably try and win that line out and maybe go for the try. Opting to go for the penalty, which has not come through. So the score still stands at 3-0 here at the Impala Club. 27 minutes here from both sides as Ben Mwangi now lines up this line out here for Mean Machine, who are playing from right to left in the blue and black. And that line-out throw was not straight. Both sides very guilty of not having their line-out throws very straight, so it's advantage swinging back to Nondies. So it's going to be a scramble for Nondies here. Two sides who were fierce rivals in the 80s and 90s for the Kenya Cup and other trophies, but have really fallen on hard times. Mean Machine, three-time winners of the Kenya Cup. Nondies, arguably Kenya's most successful side in history.
With 17 Kenya Cup titles. Quite interesting that their last title came way back in 1998. While Mean Machine's last Kenya Cup title was in 1990. Some members of that class of 1990 for Mean Machine included famous Edward Rombo, Eric Kibe, James Absaloms, who later went on to play for Kenya Harlequin, just to name but a few. You know, William Juguna, just looking at this rivalry, it was something great. I remember growing up to this rivalry, watching those matches, always explosive, never a dull moment between these two sides.
Yeah, Nondies, of course, used to have big set of forwards, the Fracombe brothers, when Nondies almost entirely had a white team of British players of British descent. And Machine, of course, playing very expansive rugby. Two different styles of rugby being employed by both sides. Good tackle there coming in from Nondies as Ian Jenga tried to work his way there.
Again, Machine defending resolutely as Nondies take the game to them. That's hard running from Brian Njenga. Sets up another platform. Mabwa is there just looking to draw the offense. But play continues. Francis Mutuku with the pass to Steve Odhiambo. Mutuku is there to secure the rack. Players arriving. Alex Musiga. But the advantage swings the way of Mean Machine.
That has been the story of the first half. Whenever Nondies get into an attacking rhythm, they cheaply give away possession, either through a penalty. And Mean Machine, very smart at the way they're attacking the ball at the breakdown. And they're able to stand on their feet and get that penalty and get that call from the referee. 10.5 minutes to go to the end of the first half. It's Mean Machine leading by 3-0. Antonio Bonyo to feed this ball into the scrum. Good pressure coming in from the Nondies pack, but Abonyo is able to deliver the ball to Shiasi. Shiasi now finds Alfred Orege. Orege skips one tackle, goes into another, but good work coming at the breakdown from Nondies, and the referee has tolerated enough dissent from Mean Machine, and they are going to be playing for the next 10 minutes with 14 men. Moses Begi has been sent to the bin. I think frustration now really creeping up into Nondies' play. They're not getting the rub of the green from the referee's calls, especially at the breakdown. So Begi has been sent to the bin. Man, as Shiasi goes for territory, and it's going to be a Mean Machine line out. We had enough of the whining from the Nondies players when they didn't get the calls from him, and he sent Begi to the cooler's chair, to the naughty chair for the next 10 minutes.
And that technically means that Begi will see off the rest of this match on that seat, the rest of the first half of this match on that seat. Remember, a yellow card in the game of rugby sees you sent to the sin bin. In 15s rugby, you spend 10 minutes, while in 7s rugby, you spend 2 minutes in the bin. But William Juguna, quite interestingly, in as much as this is an early kickoff, it has been a lot more fluid than some of the early kickoffs that we have witnessed this season. Has been quite a fluid game, end-to-end stuff, but only 3 points separating the two teams. That penalty from Festus Shiasi.
Yes, yeah, I think both sides are really giving it a good go, but the lack of execution, especially in the 22, is what is really hampering them. As Nondies do get a penalty there from the referee, and they take play back into Mean Machine territory with 8 minutes to go here in the first half. The first of our double header here at the Impala Club, match day 8 of the 2018-2019 Kenya Cup season. It's Mean Machine against Nondies. Nondies Mean Machine leading by 3 points to 0, a very slender lead. Penalty scored after 30 minutes by Festus Shiasi. So it's going to be a line-out throw for Mean Machine to be for Nondies. Tuku now finds man there, Eric Okoma, but Mabwa now. What can Nondies do? Steve Odhiambo. Odhiambo shrugs off 1, 2 tackles, goes into contact. Nondies now trying to get that elusive 5-pointer before the close of the first half. Mabwa finds Sinei. Sinei finds Levis Ochieng. Ochieng offloading now to Njenga, and this should be a try for Nondies. Yes, it is a try.
Brian Safari, the try scorer. William Zuguna, this try has been coming. Remember, we talked about Nondies being patient, sticking to their structures, not panicking. And even with 14 men, they've been able to work up something. Brian Safari on the end of that, a 5-pointer that puts Nondies in the lead with about 7 minutes in the first half to play.
Yeah, piece of individual skill and brilliance coming in from Nondies finally in this first half. Levi Ochieng there offloading to Njenga. And Njenga was able to find Brian Safari with a try. Good hands there by the Nondies forwards and backs. And they do get on the scoreboard for the very first time as Field and Sine. Field and Sine with a conversion kick. Still stand at 5 points to 3 here at the Impala Club. Nondies now have taken the lead. You can see my very good friend there, Theory Ndonga, who is part of the coaching staff at Nondies, having a word with Field and Sine. Just relieving that try. Sine gave the ball to Levis Ochieng. Levis Ochieng was able to give to Mutuku, and Mutuku found an on-rushing Brian Safari to score the opening try for Nondies. So 6 minutes to go to the end of the first. Festus Shiasi now lines up the restart for Mean Machine. It's won there by Mutuku, and there was, I think, a clash of heads there between one of the Nondies players and Henry Rabach. And Levi Ochieng there is able to ghost in between there from that track. Ian Mabwa finds Sine. Sine with a very good kick. His testing kicks have found Mean Machine in trouble, but here comes Valentin Odoyo. Odoyo with a side step, goes on the run, goes for an up and under.
Ian Mabwa wasn't able to field that ball, but eventually still fielded by Nondies. Referee Douglas Ngetit is playing the advantage, penalty advantage for Nondies. Ian Mabwa found himself in possession there. Just pops the ball to Field and Sine, who is going to kick for territory. Just look to get Nondies out of their 22. That he does in style. Nondies are up to the middle of the park. This is Francis Mutuku with the line-out throw. Remember, coming up at 4 p.m. we do have the match that has been on everyone's lips this week. The Ngong Road derby between Impala Saracens and Kenya Harlequins. These sides are neighbors, literally separated by a fence. So obviously this is a battle for neighborhood supremacy. The line-out throw is claimed by Nondies. This is Mabwa. Plays it through to... That was Njenga. Ochieng with the pass to Mutuku. It looked to have traveled forward, but nothing has been called by Ngetich. Mabwa to Sine. They have an extra man out wide. This is Alex Msiga. Eric Okoma He hits the floor. Sine and Mabwa both at the scene. Steve Odhiambo. Nondies continuing to surge forward. Mabwa looking to get a clean ball from his forwards. He does. This is Sine. Hesitates with the pass. Attacks the space. The ball presented once again to Mabwa. Mabwa to Brian Njenga. Njenga to Ian Njenga this time round. Njenga keeps his feet. It is claimed now by Mutuku. You can see the structured face play coming through from Nondies. Not getting too excited, just sticking to their structures. As they continue to inch into machine territory, they're approaching the 5-meter line. And they're still in possession. Douglas Ngetich just making sure no infringements. As you can just see him firming up his earpiece, obviously getting communication from his assistant referees. Ian Mabwa spreads that ball out wide. This is Philden Sine. He is alone. And is he going to be booted out into touch? No. The ball, however, has been claimed by Machine. They force a turnover there, but once again cleaned up. Although Ngetich has called for a penalty, advantage Machine.
Good play coming there from Nondies as they inched ever closer to looking for a second try. Very good structure. They were literally just going through pick and drives. Festus Shiasi now looks to give Mean Machine buffer, playing for territory, and it's going to be a line-out throw to Mean Machine as we come to the end of what has been a very scrappy first half. Only moment of brilliance we've seen there was that try scored. Good help coming in from the spot. The back. Mean Machine won't be out of the woods by any stretch of the imagination. They have harassed and frustrated Nondies as Brian Koima wins that line out. Collins Otieno, Shadon Munoko. It's Mean Machine now trying to get some faces going here in this first half. Into the final few minutes of this first half, Shiasi goes for an up and under. Snapshot of the crowd who've come to catch a glimpse of the action, and also the 4 p.m. kickoff between Impala and Harlequins. So what can Mean Machine do here into the final few seconds of the first half? Abonyo finds Koima. Koima going for the offload, finds Brian Marube. It's Machine here on the attack. That's Alfred Orege. Seen a couple of the ball enough times in this game, hasn't really made an impact. Obonyo, beg your pardon, goes into contact there. Feeds the ball to Orege. And manning jersey number 10 for Mean Machine, Festus Chiasi, goes for the kick. And it's won there by manning jersey number 13, Clinton Mungai. Or Clinton Mungasa. Can Mean Machine now? They do have a two-man overlap here. Once again, the referee's arm was out there. But Mean Machine have really butchered a try scoring opportunity, Michael Kwambo.
Well, you have to take your chances. You don't want to rue them at the end of 80 minutes. Mean Machine will still have other opportunities, but they certainly will be ruining that try-scoring opportunity as it winds down to a close any moment from now. We have done 40 minutes. There have been a few, and it is up to Douglas Ngetich to call for halftime. We also just catch a glimpse of Collins Otieno, the Mean Machine prop forward, just receiving attention from his team's medics. The tension in the stands is palpable, and imagine this is the 2 p.m. kickoff. What about the big one at 4 p.m. when Nondies pave way for the match between Impala and Quins?
Will be very tense, right? It will be very tense, very tense. Adrenaline will be rushing between both sets of fans as we have come to halftime. It's Nondies leading by 5 points to 3. It's been a scrappy first half contest between these two sides. I think arguably the sun is taking a toll on both players. But so far, only moment of quality we've seen was that try scored by Nondies' Brian Safari. So half-time here at the...
That was Shadon Monoko, stopped by the Nondies players. And this was the moment Festus Shiasi accurately targeted Filden Sine's head, but also more importantly put Machine 3-0 up. Has been a low-scoring first half, a penalty and a try separating the two sides. Was a bit awkward back home. And that was at that moment William Otieno spurned a try-scoring opportunity. A bit of soccer skills there, but he overshot that one with his touch of the ball. And then that is the moment the try was scored. Well, actually not. That is the moment Moses Biggie was sent to the sin bin, saw out the rest of the first half in the naughty boys' chair. And then this was it. Beautiful offload and the try that came through from Brian Safari. Once again, let's just see that Levi Ochieng under pressure with the first pass and the second pass to Safari. 5-3 at halftime. So we're going into a break and we'll be back for the second half.
Homeboys Rugby Club is a young club compared to the rest of the big boys, but they are a force to reckon with. For any new club, it's very difficult to establish themselves, but the DJs, as they are popularly known, have been a cut above the rest since its formation, if their recent success is anything to go by. The DJs' journey has been a journey of determination since it was formed, scaling the heights of rugby and moving from strength to strength in trying to shift the rugby balance to their favor.
Homeboys RSA, actually, this is our 8th year since it was formed. It's a long journey, I think, building the club from scratch, having young players. Our aim for building this club was actually to give young players a chance to play, because I was in KCB. We had won Kenya Cup 3 times, and we had a bulk of players that most of them didn't have a chance to play in the Kenya Cup or even the ESS side. Forming Homeboys, basically our aim was to give chance to the young talent from other clubs and basically straight from school. So yeah, that's where we started, and our program was first we see how we can grow as a team with the young players straight from playing a few university games. Then we went to ESS, whereby we played first season we played 16 games. Good enough, we were able to win all the games, but then we were not promoted to Kenya Cup, so because we were not KRU affiliates by then. So we did our papers, and we were forced to play another season, another ESS side again. So we played a total of 32 games at the ESS level. Then we were promoted to Kenya Cup.
The club's policy has always been giving the youth straight from high school a chance for them to showcase their talent with an aim of nurturing them up until the national level.
The journey has been good. One of our policy was if we are able to select young players basically from Western region, and maybe their parents or they can't get accommodation in Nairobi. So our policy was we do a proper selection during nationals and regionals. Then after school you talk to your parent. Then if you're able to come to Nairobi, we accommodate you, and it was a responsibility for parents to get a college whereby you're able to go into school. Then you play for Homeboys. So basically, if we accommodate you and we provide food, training facilities, kit, then you are sorted. Then we give you like a couple of years, like 2 years. You should be able to get to the top of Kenya Cup, playing Kenya Cup side, or otherwise playing for the national team by then.
Well, Homeboys, what has been their selling point was that they have been able to tap into young players especially from Western Kenya and from Nyanza. Paul Murunga, who was their coach and who is now the Kenya Sevens coach, is very big on developing young talent. And in that 9-year journey, a good chunk of those players have come from Kakamega High School, Chavakali, Vihiga, maybe 1 or 2 from St. Mary's Yala, 1 from maybe I think Maseno. But the bedrock of Homeboys has been Western Province, and they've been able to get young players from there, and they've been able to develop them, and that is where they've been able now to have a steady flow of those players from Western Province, because he goes there, he doesn't have to sign players from Harlequins or Impala or Nondies. As long as he can develop those players in 2 or 3 years' time and they become good players, by the way, who are able to play both 15s and 7s, I think that has been their trick, and that's why they've been able to beat even clubs who have been there for a longer period.
The system definitely did work, with the evidence of Homeboys players being called up to the national team level when it started.
So that program has really worked. I think it was one of the best program as a club, because for the first 4 years, I think the guys that we started with, we saw Agustin Lugonza in the national team, Alvin Otieno in the national team, Bush Mwale, we had Oscar Yodi. All of that group went straight playing 7s in the national team. And of course, a few of 15 players again were able to join the 15 aside.
So far, I'm impressed. That's the least I can say. If you go back to the Semes team, they had guys like Juma, like Olindi, like Mark, who was the top try scorer, and he's only 19. So guys are coming through the ranks, and at Homeboys they're given that opportunity, which is amazing. And us more experienced folks, we also take a leaf or two from the young guys, which is amazing. They bring new energy to the team, and going forward, I know they're going to help us to achieve the top goal, which is the Kenya Cup.
In the 7s platform, we have Johnston Olindi and we have Mark Wandeto. Those one for sure, they are ready to go and play to face the world in terms of playing. We still have Don Odhiambo, who is still playing with us and has also played a few of 7s tournaments, and of course 15s right now. We have Collins Shikoli, who is slowly coming from injury, and we are seeing him playing very well. We have one of our players that was first called in the 15s, then he was dropped later on. We have William Difu, who is also playing so well. We have Steve Otieno, and of course we have Zeden Maro, who is only 20 and is with the 15 aside, supposed to travel to France. So we have a couple of them that I think they're coming through the ranks and they'll be okay in the near future.
The club has grown in leaps and bounds, with the evidence of their current players representing the country in the national team level.
So this is our 8th year, and I think things are good. The club has really grown. Considering right now we have majority of players in all national teams. Currently we have 7 of our players that, in fact 8 of our players that are in the 15 setup that is going to France late this year to play repechage.
However, there's one player who stands out, Mark Wandeto, who has been the pick of the bunch.
He was top try scorer in the local circuit. I think ahead of everyone else with like 10 tries. Considering he didn't play even the last leg.
Like Mark, who was the top try scorer, and he's only 19. So guys are coming through the ranks, and at Homeboys they give him that opportunity, which is amazing.
Well, he's a good player. I think he really shown for Homeboys a lot during the 7th circuit. What most people don't know is that by the time the 7th circuit was starting, Homeboys had already played in around 2 or 3 pre-seasons tournaments. So they were able to see Wandeto playing maybe in Masaku 7s, maybe in the Kitui 7s, and that's why he was able to be fast-tracked to play in the 7th circuit, and he got his opportunity and took it well.
Homeboys also invested in the women's team, who have also been exceptional, winning several tournaments this year.
Also formed a women's team 3 years ago. They were able to play like all the KRU tournaments and won most of them. This year alone, I think they played and won all the sevens tournament. So again, we have 7 of them in the national team that they are supposed to travel to Dubai late this year to play invitational side women competition.
In the Kenya Cup last season, the team was so close yet so far in their push for their maiden Kenya Cup trophy. They, however, made up for that loss with winning their maiden 15th trophy, the Enterprise Cup, by defeating Impala Saracens in a dominant manner 21-3 at the RFUEA grounds. They then capitalized on that momentum and gave a good account of themselves in the Stanbic National 7th circuit, winning 4 of the 6 legs.
Last season we were a bit scrappy in terms of doing our plays. Most of our players were in the national team. Then last season, of course, we had a lot of guys that had injuries. We had 4 of our guys, mainly backline, that went for surgery. We had Alvin, of which Alvin Otieno did not play even the local circuit last season. And this season, I think we did a very good pre-season compared to last season. We had enough time to prepare. Most of the players were in camp when we were preparing both Division 2 and Division 1. Remember, this year,
only as far as Ian Mabwa. Mabwa plays it through to Brian Oyando. This is Mabwa once again with the distribution. That was a rather awkward pass. Eventually bounces into touch, but has been a sprightly start to the second half, William Chikoni.
Yeah, it's been a very brightly start so far in this opening 1 minute and 7 seconds. I think there seems to be a lot of the two sides look energized, ready for the second half. And as it's Nondies, remember, who are leading. For those of you who are just joining us, Nondies leading by 5 points to 3. Try scored by Brian Safari. The conversion missed by Field and Sine. Nondies, remember, in 7th position in the Kenya Cup log, so a win takes them above Impala and Homeboys into 4th and into the Kenya Cup playoff positions. And a Machine win will take them above Strathmore. Remember, Machine, bottom of the table, needing a win at all costs. Their only win this season has come against Strathmore. And Nondies do get a penalty there from our center referee, Douglas Ngetich. The Machine forwards coming through side entry and not through the gate. So match day 8 of the 2018-2019 Kenya Cup season. Of course, we are all waiting for the 4 p.m. showdown here at the Impala Club. The Ngong Road derby between the two neighbors, the two bitter rivals, Harlequins and Impala, will be kicking off in the next 1 hour or so, immediately after the conclusion of this encounter. Who will carry the day between Nondies and Min Machine, the two sides who dominated Kenyan rugby in the 80s and 90s. Your picture there in a cap is Ben Nyambu, coaching staff of Nondies, as Francis Mutuku lines up this line-out throw. It's won there by Levis Ochieng, who has been very prominent in these exchanges. Sene with a dummy finds Moses, remember, who was sent off. Begi tries to go for the offload to find Brian Oyando. Oyando reacts quickest. Mabwa. Levis Ochieng, former player of Cabras Sugar. Nondies seem to be much more energized in this first half. That is there is Fred Muga Amolo. Fred Muga scored the consolation try last week against Cabras in the second half. But it's Nondies now asking all the questions now. I think they have been given a rocket pep talk by Willis Foxy Ojal.
And obviously transferring that rocket energy onto the field of play.
Yes. And
but William Juguna, this heat taking a toll on the players, energy sapping. I remember back in the day when we used to play the ESS matches around this time, and you had to be a hero to play those games. And at times even make the bench for the Kenya Cup squad. And so you'd end up playing two games in an afternoon.
2 games in the afternoon, yes. Substitutions there. I can see Kola Bellamy, jersey number 17, has come in for Nondies. I think Levis Ochieng, has gone out, I think.
It is Fred Amolo.
Oh yeah, Fred Amolo.
Nondies just looking to walk this home. But referee Douglas Ngetich had spotted something else. A bit baffling his decision. He should have played the advantage, but opting to award Nondies a penalty. But he's the decision maker, it's not us. All we can do is comment, and that's why we're not dressed in pink, William.
Absolutely, yes. A snapshot of the crowd who've come to catch a glimpse of the action here at the Impala Club, match day 8. Fred Muga slowly trudging back to the bench, replaced by Kola Bellamy. Willis, actually Ian Mabwa. Much better play coming in from Nondies in the second half. They've started the second half firing on all cylinders. Good scrum here from Nondies. And literally hammering, butchering the machine scrum here. Steve Odhiambo and the referee. Yeah. Gives Nondies a second bite of the cherry. I think the referee's patience is being tested by the machine front row. And I think it could be a penalty try here if machine don't wisen up a bit here. That's what Nondies are looking for. They have the dominant scrum, and the dominant scrum has to be rewarded. So Maba with the scrum put in.
Remember, we have other fixtures around the country, but first let's follow the proceedings from this. And this is Steve Odhiambo, inches close to the try line. Does he go over? No, he doesn't. Machine defending with their lives, but Nondies continuing to surge forward. The ball has been picked. It is a try. And the try scorer is Brian Sena. Takes the scores to 10-3. William Juguna, for all the effort, for all the pressure that Nondies have applied, they have been rewarded with another 5-pointer. First off the vision from Steve Odhiambo, and then the tenacity of Brian Sena.
Absolutely. This try has been coming. Just look at the way Nondies have played in this early moments of the second half. They have come out guns blazing, firing on all cylinders. And that try there, scored by Brian Sena, gives Nondies now a 10-3 lead with the conversion kick to come.
Sena is sure with that conversion, taking the score to 12-3. And as we speak, there will be 5 other fixtures around the country, starting with the 4 p.m. kickoff here at the Impala Club between Impala and Quins. As we just catch a glimpse of that, that was Brian Sena breaking from the base of the scrum to score. It'll be a rare try for the lock, who is more accustomed to plucking those balls out of the air. But as we were mentioning moments ago, there are 5 other matches lined up across the country, starting with the match between Impala against Quins here at this very ground at 4 p.m. Over at the KCB Sports Club in Nakuru, it is KCB against Nakuru, while at the Kakamega Showground, Cabras Sugar, the hosts, up against Mwamba. while next door at the Jamhuri Park, Homeboys welcome the Strathmore Leos, and over at the Kenyatta University is Black Blood against the Menengai Oilers. That is all the action on match day 8 of the 2018-2019 Kenya Cup. A big fend coming through from Louis Ochieng excites the crowd here. Sine with that kick deep into machine territory. Munoko does not field that ball comfortably at first, but gets it and passes at pace when he thought that he was going to run into his man. Good clear out there, led by Munoko. Machine just looking to get the ball working for them. Oliver Tambo finds the floor.
Not to be confused with Oliver Tambo, the late freedom fighter from South Africa.
And this is Evans Chalo. As a machine forwards, just force Sine and company to the floor, but the advantage swings back the way of Nondies.
Very enterprising play coming in from both sides there. Shadow Munoko with a very good run. We thought he was actually going into contact, but he opted to offload the ball. And the players, both sets of players seem to be very energized as the referee gets to engage both front rows in this scrum. Marvin Karungi has come in at scrum half for Antonio Bonyo. Karungi, for me, is the regular starter for Mean Machine in the games we have had this season. But he's coming to add a bit of more energy and zeal and zest in this. So 12-3 the scoreline here at the Impala Club. Nondies looking to bounce back from that hammering they got from Cabras last week, losing by 41 points to 5. So Mabo with the scrum put in for Nondies, who are now playing from left to right, from right to left, and the Mean Machine playing from left to right. Very warm welcome for those of you who are joining us. It's match day 8 of the 2018-2019 Kenya Cup season, and it's Mean Machine in blue, Nondies in white. So Steve Odhiambo has been a revelation for Nondies this season at number 8, going on a good run there, but well read. Moses Begi, formerly of Black Blood RFC, signed by Nondies in the close season. Marvin Karungi goes for the box kick. There's a kick chase here from Mean Machine, but Ian Mabo is able to field it very well. Finds Brian Oyando. Oyando sizing up the space, and he is gone. Oyando, who does he have in support here? And that pass wasn't the best of passes there. I think he tried to tee up William Otieno, and the execution in that pass wasn't the best of passes. But a very good break there coming in from Brian Oyando at fullback. He's had 1 or 2, 3 line breaks in this game. That's showing how he's a very dangerous player in broken play. Nondies leading by 12. Bonus point, can they score another 2 tries? Remember, Machine yet to score a try in this game. They didn't score a try last week. It's line out throw there taken by Odoyo, not by the hooker, but it's won there by Steve Odhiambo. Here comes Jenga. Nondies second row. Brian Jenga tries to deliver the ball now to Ian Mabwa, and the referee says that Jenga held onto that ball for too long, and it's going to be a penalty to Mean Machine. The Mean Machine technical bench there, currently bottom of the standings. Remember, they were promoted to the Kenya Cup this season, and it's been a baptism of fire for Machine. They've only won 1 game, beating Strathmore Leos at the Lions Den in Ruaraka on the same weekend that Nondies beat KCB to end that 20-month unbeaten run. But since then, it's been loss after loss after loss for the university side. It's going to be a line-out throw for Mean Machine. Valentine Odoyo. Marvin Karungi to Shadon Munoko. Karungi again finds Koima. Koima now finds the man in jersey number 6 for Mean Machine, Brian Marube. Marube is able to deliver the ball to Karungi. Karungi now finds Munoko. Munoko has been the talisman for Machine this season. Man there in jersey number 2 is Ben Mwangi of Mean Machine. Machine on the attack here. They are very much in the Nondies 22. But the ball is being held up and it's going to be advantage to Nondies. Ben Mwangi was held up and he wasn't able to deliver the ball to his side, and the advantage swinging back to Nondies. This will be a substitution for Mean Machine. So Ian Mabwa with the scrum put in. Good scrum from Nondies. And the advantage is with Nondies there. Dominant scrum there, and Machine wheeling it illegally. So Nondies able to get out of their 22 and able to look for territory there from Sine. And that kick thought actually didn't find touch, but it's going to be advantage back again to Nondies, who are playing from right to left and Mean Machine playing from left to right. Current scores, it's 12-3. Coming up at 4 p.m. it's the Ngong Road Derby between Impala and Harlequins. Francis Mutuku with a line-out throw for Nondies. And it's won very well there by Brian Sena. What can Nondies do here now? And that was a knock-on from Nondies. Is that an advantage? No. Advantage has been called off there. Victor Sharia there thought he had an open line to go and score that try, but the referee's whistle had gone. So it's going to be advantage to Mean Machine just when they thought that maybe there was a second try in the offing. 12-3 the current scoreline, as Nondies look to bounce back from that mauling they received at Cabras at the Jamhuri Park Showground, where they trailed 41-0 at halftime. They were able to score a try in the second half, courtesy of Fred Amolo Muga. Marvin Karungi. Karungi finds Shiasi. Shiasi finds Alfred Orege. Orege is able to get over the advantage line, beat 3 or 4 defenders there. Karungi again. Mean Machine, what can they respond here? Karungi finds Marube. Marube doesn't get over the advantage line, but it's still with Mean Machine here. And it's Shiasi again, able to shrug off 1 or 2 defenders. But Nondi is able to hold the defensive line apart. That's a box kick there by Karungi. And it's won there by Mabwa. Mabwa gets out of danger there. Finds Steve Odhiambo. Odhiambo. Now, this is better play from Nondies. Here comes Njenga. Njenga able to provide the ball now to Mabwa. It's all Nondies here. Mabwa finds Mutuku. Mutuku goes into contact, provides the ball to Mabwa again. Mabwa finds Sine. Sine finds man in jersey number 22 here, Agustin Nangole. Mabwa, Jenga, Levis Ochieng. Ochieng, a man handled by 2 Machine defenders. Mabwa finds Bellamy. That's Ian Jenga going into contact there, but they're able to provide the ball to Mabwa. Mabwa now finds Sine, and Sine has seen enough of that and opts to go for the kick downfield, but it's well read there by Victor Xavier. Xavier's kick. Oh, it's a poor kick from Xavier, and that was a knock-on. Costly knock-on there from Nondies. Just when they had almost 3-4 men lining up to go for an attack there. And I think it is Brian Jenga who dropped that ball there. And he's a machine player who seems to be injured down on the floor there. Some of the fans who've come to catch a glimpse of the action. And that was Brian Marube. Seems to have recovered and is back on his feet. Remember, Nondies leading by 12 points to 3 in this encounter. A win for Nondies takes them 4 points. With a 4-point win, will take them above Impala and Homeboys before Impala and Homeboys play. And in your picture there, the man in a black hat is the Impala chairman, Bill Githinji. Reliably informed that Impala do have their AGM next week on the 2nd of February. That was Marvin Karungi with that pass, and that pass wasn't the best of passes. But what can Machine do here? Haven't looked like scoring a try in the 55-60 minutes of play that we've had so far.
As we're heading into the final 20 or so minutes of this match, it remains 12-3 in favor of Nondescript. They just continue to shade Mean Machine in terms of points and in terms of possession and territory. As mentioned earlier there, we just caught a glimpse of Impala RFC chairman Bill Githinji, former Kenya Cup winning coach with this side, led them to 3 successive Kenya Cup titles between the year 1999 and well, actually it was between the year 2000 and 2002. This is Ian Mabwa. He has men in support. Eric Okoma, one of the long-serving members of this Nondies side. Him alongside Field and Sene, the more experienced members of the squad. Advantage continues to remain with Nondies. Mean Machine must watch their discipline. Douglas Ngetich, the center referee, just ensuring that his authority is felt on the field of play. This is Field and Sine looking to find territory deep in the Machine half. And that kick is right on the Machine 5 as marked by assistant referee Vincent Chua, the man who calls himself my biceps, though it will have to take a commission of inquiry to find out exactly where those biceps are. Remember, rugby also provides an opportunity for photography there. That, I believe, was Aruna Ngare, club secretary at Nondies, avid photographer, captures many of the game's moments for her side. Ball is claimed in the air and stolen by Steve Odhiambo. Ian Mabwa just watching as the shenanigans continue, probably aware of the infringements. There was a handling error. Brian Sena, the try scorer, remonstrating with Douglas Ngetich, the referee, who in turn heads into consultation with the smiling Vincent Chua. Interesting character off the field when you do interact with him. But on the field of play, he is a match official. 18 minutes remain here before full time and before the big one at 4 p.m. Impala versus Quins in the Ngong Road Derby. But this match was a derby of its own. Back in the day, that was Shadon Munoko rushing down the blind side like an enraged bull released from its pen. But possession has been turned over. This is Steve Odhiambo, breaks through a tackle, finds the floor, has numbers arriving. Ian Mabwa plays it close and tight to Ian Njenga. Mabwa once again using his men out wide. That is Eric Shimoli. Mabwa. Francis Mutuku breaking through that challenge from Benson Mwangi. Is this going to be another try for Nondies? They have the forward movement. They are very close. Sine with the ball out wide. Brian Oyando goes down under that tackle, but it is still Nondies driving forward.
The referee's arm is out for an advantage.
Referee Ngetich playing the advantage to Nondies. Fielden Sine just rounding up his troops. Ian Mabwa looking for clean ball. He has men close. The penalty has been awarded. Ian Mabwa rushing to the spot of the infringement, slowing down play. Of course, you do that when you're ahead and you're inches close to your opponent's try line. Nondies, you can say at this point of the game, William, are in total control of the match.
Absolutely, yeah. Nondies looking energized. I think Willis Fox-Ojal must have read them the right at half-time. And it's a matter of not if, but when this try will be scored by Nondies. Dominant second-half performance. Haven't seen anything from Machine to suggest that they could keep tabs on Nondies, but it's Nondies who've looked very dangerous, especially with Steve Odhiambo and the likes of Fielden Sene controlling matters in the back line there, and Ian Mabwa always looking for, always probing and attacking space, trying to offload the ball, and the Mean Machine just hanging on here. It's 12-3 with 16.5 minutes to go to the end of this second half and to the end of this game. Remember, it's match day 8 of the 2019 Kenya Cup season. Coming up at 4 p.m, the Ngong Road Derby, Impala versus Harlequins, as Ian Mabwa feeds this ball into the scrum. It's a dominant scrum from Nondies. They have been the much better side in the pack, and they're asking questions of the Mean Machine side here. Mean Machine just barely clinging on here at the Impala Club on match day 8 on the last Saturday of January 2019. Next weekend, it's the Enterprise Cup round 1. And a good chunk of the Kenya Cup clubs will not be in action, with the exception of probably maybe Harlequins and Menengai Oilers. The rest have been given byes to the second round.
As the fans continue to make their way into the Impala Club stands. This is Nondies. Steve Odhiambo is at the back of that. He drops that ball under the tackle from a Machine player, but the referee rules it was illegal. Penalty advantage remaining with Nondies. 15 minutes remain here at the Impala Club in this opening fixture of a doubleheader. This is the early kickoff on match day 8 of the 2018-2019 Kenya Cup season. All other matches, including the Ngong Road Derby, kicking off at 4 p.m.
Yeah, he did. Technical bench there of Nondies just having a word with their players. And the scoreline reading 12-3 in favor of 12-3. 2 tries, a conversion, with Mean Machine replying through a solitary penalty. Don't know if there's a water break going on, as I can see some of the Impala 3 players, the squad they call Swara, making their way to the ground. Fans already have gotten into box seats for the eagerly anticipated showdown at 4 p.m.
In as much as that clash is eagerly anticipated, it is not to take away anything from this curtain raiser, which has been a close contest between the two sides. Nondies landing 2 tries through Brian Sena and Brian Safari. Fielden Sena with a solitary conversion. Festus Shiashi with a penalty for Mean Machine. And all those names we've mentioned and their efforts contributing to the scores on your screen. Nondies 12, Mean Machine 3, 14 minutes remaining here.
Scrum here from Nondies. And Nondies with a dominant attacking scrum here. You can sense where they're going. They're going for a pushover try. Steve Odhiambo there. Does he go over the line? Yes. Finally, pressure has been rewarded. And Steve Odhiambo getting try number 3 for Nondies. That takes the score now to 17-3 with the conversion kick to come. Conversion kick to come now from Fielden Sena with 12.5 minutes to go to the end of this game. Nondies being rewarded for the dominance in the second half with that try by Steve Odhiambo. And the conversion kick is missed, so it still stands at 17 points to 3. So the restart here for Mean Machine. Festus Shiasi. A try has given Nondies a 14-point buffer. Levio Ching been very prominent, banging and crashing, giving the opponent a torrid time with his rampaging runs. Mabwa finds Sene, and Sene with a clearance kick that will be a line out for Mean Machine. All right, here comes Nondies. Munoko finds Shiasi, but the referee's whistle had gone. Swinging back to Nondies. To have a Mean Machine player being attended, and I think unless something strange happens in the next 10 minutes, Nondies do have this win in the bag. It's a 14-point deficit with 10 minutes to go. And as things stand here, it is Nondies who do have 1 foot with the victory. So it's going to be a scramble here for Nondies. Mabwa, formerly of Impala, with the scrum put in. Remember, Nondies win takes them above Impala and Homeboys into 4th spot before the 4 p.m. kickoffs. So Mabwa with the scrum put in. Steve Odhiambo controlling matters at the base of that scrum. It's a dominant scrum from Nondies. Mabwa finds Field and Sine. Sine with a kick, but the referee's arm was out for an advantage, and it's a penalty to Nondies. 17-3 the scoreline, 3 tries to 0 for Nondies. Field and Sine with the restart with the penalty. It will be a line out throw for Nondies. Just to remind you that the fixtures being played this afternoon is that apart from the 4 p.m. showdown here between Impala and Harlequins in the Gongro Derby, the league leaders Cabras welcome Mwamba to the Kakamega Showground. KCB have a date with Nakuru at the Lions Den. Black Blood host Menengai Oilers at KU, and Homeboys host Strathmore Leos at the Jamhuri Park. Mutuku, the line out throw. It's won very well there by Steve Odhiambo, who's been much more prominent in the second half. Bellamy Kola. What can Nondies do? Can they get a bonus point try here? Steve Odhiambo being shepherded back into tackle by Machine. That was a good grabber kick there by Field and Sine, but it's well fielded by Marvin Karungi, and Douglas Ngeticha, also the referee, has awarded another penalty to Mean Machine. Mean Machine now, the penalty count must have reached double figures. They've given away too many penalties, especially in the second half. As Field and Sine goes to the corner. So it's going to be advantage to Nondies. So Francis Mutuku with this line out throw for Nondies. Ivan Scialo has replaced Ian Mabo at scrum half. And the referee's arm. Referee going to consult with Douglas Ngetich, going to consult with Vincent Chwea. I think he must have seen an infringement there, or something not to his liking, as we enter into the final 6 minutes of this encounter here at the Impala Club. So it's going to be a scramble for Mean Machine. Marvin Karungi to put this ball into the scrum for Mean Machine, who trail by 17 points to 3 and haven't looked like scoring a try in this first half. Scrum, Mean Machine is going backwards here. Karungi has difficult chance to give it to Shiasi, and Shiasi is able to clear his lines here. And it finds Brian Oyando. Oyando attempting a drop goal, I think. And Oyando's execution of that drop goal wasn't the best of drop goals there. Didn't have direction, and it goes straight out. So it's going to be a line-out throw to Mean Machine. As the game is petering out right now, I think Nondies do know they have the win in the bag. The question is, can they get a bonus point in this last 5.5 minutes of this game?
True indeed, they need to score a 4th try. They have landed 3 so far. 4th one takes them to the magic bonus point. But will Machine frustrate their efforts? Machine also looking for a bonus point of their own. They need to score a converted try to restrict Nondies to within 7 points. But it is Nondies with the momentum. This is Steve Odhiambo, surging run, and he plays it through to Brian Safari. Safari, that was actually Brian Oyando. We have Brian Safari playing at 14 for Nondies. And Oyando has hit the floor hard. He is uncomfortable as play continues. Ball booted out into touch. 4.5 minutes remain here at the Impala Club. Nondies leading Mean Machine by 17 points to 3.
Submitted a list of interviews on Scrum. Yeah. Okay, then. Mom. They want you to go for but at 8. But the whole point is it's just the short number. Yeah. So I've just said. Yes. Yeah, I've seen.
4 minutes remaining here. As there is another break in play. You just feel that Nondies are running away with this one. Machine have given it all they've got, but a 14-point buffer is a buffer too big for them. Willis Ojal doesn't seem impressed, but at the end of the day, he'll just be content taking the 4 points. 4 points are better than nothing, William.
Absolutely, yes. The 4 points will take them above Impala and Harlequins for at least a couple of hours before we do get the full-time scores from the 4 p.m. kickoffs. But a very encouraging display from Nondies in the second half. They were a bit lethargic in the first half, but they were able to step up in the second half and get those 2 tries. So it's going to be a line-out throw for Mid Machine. Can they get at least a consolation try and at least a losing bonus point by scoring in this final 3 minutes of this game? Ben Mwangi, the hooker. Or is it Adam Mugo? They're waiting for the ball here. Ramsfield Matekwa can afford a smile. It's been very pensive for the 75 odd minutes of this first half.
Ramsfield Matekwa, a man who's also very actively involved with age grade rugby at the Community Rugby Association, Comras. A rugby man through and through. Obviously of service as well to Mean Machine. And this is former Mean Machine scrum of Evans Chalo. There's quite a sprinkling of players in the past who made the transition from Mean Machine to Nondies, starting with that first generation, the likes of Paul Pablo Murunga, Thomas Opio, the current Kenya Rugby Union Vice Chairman, Auka Gasheo, current club chairman at Nondescripts RFC, all played their rugby at Mean Machine before making that switch to Ngong Road. This is Chalo Tusine, another former Machine player, interestingly enough.
Absolutely, yes. The exodus between both sides has been very interesting. Players moving from Mean Machine to Nondies once they complete their university studies. And as you've said, it's a trend we started way back 25 years ago.
Douglas Ngetech awards Nondies a penalty as we're heading into the dying moments of this fixture. Filden Sine with the kick downfield. There is still time for Nondies to get that all-important bonus point. It's quite interesting. Eric Shimoli getting into banter with the Mean Machine forwards at the line-out. You'd think that they're discussing a line-out move until you notice the difference in their kits. Because they looked like mates at the training ground, William Juguna.
Absolutely, yes, they do look. So Francis Mutukwenye's line-out throw. And not the best of line-out throws, and it's won there by Mean Machine. I think it's won by Shiasi. But good counter-attacking there coming from Nondies, but cleared there. And the referee's whistle has gone. And the referee awards Mean Machine a penalty. I guess this should be the last passage of play. The 80 minutes are done. Nondies do have the win. 17 points to 3, but not the bonus point win probably they were looking for.
So it has been a hard result for Nondies, but a result all the same. Crucial 4 points for them.
And play continues. Nondies Machine opting not to go for territory, but opting to a quick tap.
Remember, Machine looking for that converted try that will see them at least leave this fixture with a bonus point. It's not going to happen with the penalty advantage swinging the way of Nondies. Just unable to maintain their discipline there at the breakdown, William Juguna.
Yeah, poor discipline there coming in from Mean Machine. And with the game almost wrapped up, now Nondies do have a chance to get a bonus point victory if they can get the composure right and execution right in the Machine 22. So what option does Fidel Thnay take now? He goes to the corner, meaning Machine will have to win the line out. Nondies have to win the line out, I beg your pardon, and put in some phases of play to get that fourth try and the bonus in the bag. Nondies win it there.
That is Brian Sena, one of the try scorers for Nondies this afternoon. Plays it to Steve Odhiambo. This is hard running from the former Black Blood man. Ian Njenga as Nondies go in pursuit of the bonus point try. We've done the 80 minutes. We're probably into the last and final phases of play. And that is Sine surging forward again, looking for his brace. Nondies inches close to the try line. Machine's defense holding out on yet another occasion there. And they do have the penalty. William Juguna, I don't see them looking for territory. Just playing it deep. And they've spoken. And it's the commentator's curse didn't strike there, but the question is, can they get that crucial 7-pointer? Remember, they need to touch down and convert to at least lose by 7 points and leave this match with a bonus point. Remember, in the game of rugby, the Kenya Cup rules are such that if you lose by 7 or less points, you still get a bonus point. And these are jet shoes from the Machine winger. Unable to field that ball, Douglas Ngetich is the man on the spot. The moment he looks at his watch, you just know that the action here is over.
Yeah, the referee, playing on added time here in this encounter. The 80 minutes are up. Nondies do have the win in the bag. The question is, can they get the bonus point win? And not that way, and the game is over. Nondies have beaten Mean Machine by 17 points to 3, but they don't get the bonus point win they were looking for. And it's been a hard-fought victory for Nondies. 3 tries, 1 conversion, taking them to 17 points to 3 and bouncing back from the mauling they received last week against Cabras, where they lost by 41 points to 5. And setting up the stage for what will be an eagerly anticipated game at 4 p.m. Don't go anywhere. The biggest game of the season. Impala versus Quins coming up at 4 p.m. But those are the final scores from the Impala club. Nondies 17, Mean Machine 3. Nondies jump up to 4th on the Kenya Cup log with 23 points. We shall be taking you to Mohamed Abubakar shortly, but some highlights of the second half in case you missed it.
Ramsfield.
You can see there Levis Ochieng and Brian Oyando. And that try by Brian Sena. Second try of the afternoon for Nondies after they led 5-3 at halftime. Sena was able just to extend himself and go on the scoreboard. And Levis Ochieng there, shrugging off defenders. I think for me he's been the man of the match for Nondies this afternoon alongside Steve Odhiambo. Remember, Nondies without Fidel Olo. So those are your highlights for the afternoon. That try by Steve Odhiambo. So we shall take you now to Mohamed Abubakar, who's got the two coaches, Willis Fox-Ojal and Ramsfield Matekwa of Mean Machine.
All right, thank you very much, William. Yes, 80 minutes are over at the Impala grounds. The first live match, Nondies and Mean Machine. Nondies emerging victorious here by 17-3 against Mean Machines. We have the coaches right here who will be giving their views and thoughts on how the game has gone. We have Mean Machine coach here, Ramsfield Matekwa, who is going to give us a little bit of what he thought about that game. Ramsfield, 80 minutes up, 17-3. What did you make of the game?
The game has been good, but we've have lapses in the game. Actually, I think that you have made us. And into contact skills, we are not that more. And also of the racking, we are so slow on this racking that I think the Nondies have picked up from us.
You started scoring the points, but then again, the margin is not too big. Why do you think the tries were hard to come by?
The tries came by because the boys dipped a little bit. They were actually up on the game, but on the fair play, actually it has made them to dip down.
Right now you're not in a good place at the table. What are the plans now, these remaining few rounds, to make sure you avoid that relegation?
A few plans just for us to work more harder and to execute our plans, our gameplay, for us to be on the particular table point.
All right, all the best, coach. Thank you so much. Cheers. All right, that was Mean Machine head coach Ramsfield Matekwa, that is. We have the winning coach, Coach Willis Ojal, who will be also giving us his thoughts on the game. Coach Willis, win, how does it feel?
It's all right. We'll take the win. It's 4 points. We were hoping for 5, but we'll take the 4 for now. It's better than nothing.
They started scoring the points, but then you took your time, came back into the game, took the lead before halftime, and then in the second half hit them with the tries. What was that team talk? Did that team talk go at halftime?
Again, to be honest, we just tried to. We keep deviating, moving away from our plays. If you notice, the first half we started playing a bit more like them and forgetting that we had a plan of our own. So that's all we said. In the second half, let's stick to what we've trained. We've not been training with them. We've been training with the 23 guys in the white shirts. So let's play like the 23 guys in the white shirts.
At the very end, you are chasing for that 4th try to get that bonus point. At this point, how important is each point to make sure you get that playoff spot?
You see, at the end of the game, you'll obviously ask what the other teams do, how did the other teams do, and you want to be sure that you have the 5, so that if someone has 4, you're able to take over that spot. Because, like I said, between number 4 and 7 and 8, it's just 1, 2, 3 points in between. So all the points matter at this particular stage. Yeah.
Are you looking over your shoulders with the other teams, how they're performing, or you're just focusing on your games?
You have to keep looking. You have to keep looking. And also looking forward both ways, actually, because we're still going to go back to play our conference. So we have to keep checking how these other guys are doing, and the guys who are also chasing us, how they are doing. So it's both ways. You have to keep checking.
Yeah. Right. Congratulations, coach. All the best. All right, that is Coach Willis Ojal. The first game that was live, 80 minutes here at the Impala grounds, Nondies against Mean Machine. In a few minutes, the big one, Gong Road Derby, Quins are at home, or rather, Impala Saracens are hosting Quins here. It is going to start in a few minutes, 80 minutes more of good rugby to look forward to. Stay tuned, don't go anywhere.
Football 254 is back. Fresh face. Best of Kenyan football from the Kenyan Premier League to the Abubakar on Football 254 every Tuesday from 8:30 p.m. only on some weekend footballing action. Last minute winner. That controversial moment.
This is the Champions League headline being written.
Or even some off-field drama. Respect. With the help of expert analysts and of course you the fans will be covering all matters football.
Character within these players is magnificent. Also during the World at the top.
Tune in to Monday Night Football with me, your host Mohamed Abubakar from 8:30 p.m. on Bamba Sport, your home of true fans.
And we're back at the Impala Club. This is Kenya Cup Match Day 8 coming to you live and free on Bamba Sport. The big one, the highly anticipated clash between bitter rivals and next door neighbors, Impala Saracens and Kenya Harlequin. This match kicking off at 4 p.m. East African time, 1 p.m. GMT for those watching on the internet around the world. Just catch a glimpse of both sides, led out by their captains. Impala in the red and white strip, led out by Kenya international scrum half Samson Onsomo, while Quins in the white and black, led out by their captain Peter Agala. Lining up for Impala, we will have the team sheets any moment on our screens now. And lining up for Impala, Edgar Obino, Daniel Ndome, Kelvin Kimutai Rono, Kevin Okeo, Eric Kere, Eric Kopondo, Elkins Musonye, Paul Mutami, Samson Onsomu, Sami Oliech, Quinto Ongo, Ishmael Mokaya, Anthony Nyandigisi, Vincent Mose and Richard Sidindi. On the reserves bench, Collins Chogo, Onsongo Nyamwaya, Davis Makori, Edwin Gatungo, Savia Bet, Edmond Anya, Brandon Ochieng and Stephen Juma. Head coach Frankie Ndong. Lining up for Kenya Harlequin, Brian Ochieng Obuaya, Frank Kalwale, Paul Kiyoko, Hilary Baraza, Tony Mtai, Patrice Gunda, Herman Humwa, Peter Misango the captain, Dominic Osino, Eden Agero, Issa Hidrisu, David Ambunya, Alex Solaba, William Baka and Laila Siligwa. On the replacements bench, Edward Oseko, Elisha Koronya, Melvin Thairu, Roxy Dan Suchi, George Scott Olwatch, Aaron Oforioth, Jasper Ochen and Martin Wanjia. Head coach Charles Cardovelis. William Juguna, these two sides boast a very healthy rivalry, both on social media, on the field of play, and in the bar counters. What can we expect from this fixture kicking off any moment from now?
It's going to be competitive, it's going to be adrenaline, it's going to be malaria, it's going to be everything for both teams from Impala and Harlequins. Took all the bragging rights, winning all two encounters, winning 10-8 and 34-10 in the playoffs, and also winning at the season opening Impala Floodlights by 20 points to 15. So Quins with a score to settle. I mean, the whole week I think people have been talking about Quins being the favorites for this game based on how they've been playing. But like I said earlier, form goes out of the window whenever it's a derby game. And the man in the middle this afternoon is Constant Cap, who also was the man in Nakuru for match 7 when Nakuru hosted Homeboys at the Nest in Nakuru. So just getting his wiring and microphone pieces being sorted out. And both teams know Constant Cap very well.
And we just got international, 34 years young, still pushing this game. Has played his club rugby at Nakuru RFC with the Heathens in Uganda, and I'm sure many fans watching this game in Kampala, Uganda, and of course for the Impala Saracens.
Yes, Impala playing from left to right and Quins playing from right to left. William Baka, the man in the picture there, Kenya Sevens international, also had a stint with the Kenya Simbas last season playing against Tunisia, Namibia, Romania A, and also at the repechage. And now doing club duty for Harlequins this afternoon.
Constant Cap is finally wired up and ready to get this match underway. Having a feel of the ball there is Sami Oliech. He was also part of last year's repechage competition in Marseille, France, as the Kenyans sought to qualify for the 2019 Rugby World Cup. Those efforts were in naught. He has been a mainstay in the 7 squad for the past 2-3 seasons. Hasn't tasted any action so far this season, but is available for selection for his club side.
Just a reminder of viewers that Quins lie third on the log on 26 points. Impala lying 6th with 19 points. So it's a must-win game for Impala. After 3 successive losses, losing to Cabras 41 points to 10, losing to Nondies 22-20, and losing to Mwamba last weekend 20 points to 16. So here we go. The Ngong Road Derby is up and running. Peter Misango, the captain, running into a red brick wall there, but able to provide the ball. Dominic Osino starting at scrum half. And Osino now feeds the ball now to Eden Agero. Also a member of the Kenya Sevens squad, but not in action with the Kenya Sevens team. Here comes Paul Mutsami. Mutsami already showing his intent there, going into contact. And Samson Onsomu there finds
that is Elkins Musonye, mid-season signing from the Strathmore Leos. Kenya Simbas international plays it to former Kenya under-20 international Daniel Ndome. Samson Onsomu with the feel of the ball. Sami Oliech with the attempted kick behind the Quins defense, but that ball is charged down. Quins forcing the turnover. Laila Siligwa with the kick downfield. Big kick in search of territory. The game's first line out.
This will be a long 80 minutes for both sets of fans. Benjamin Aimba, assistant coach of Harlequins. I was just asking him before the game where his loyalties lie. Remember, he made his name playing for Impala in the 90s before switching over to Nondies, and he just told me that today his loyalties lie with the team he's coaching.
Indeed, and Benjamin Ayimba captained Impala to 3 successive Kenya Cup titles between the year 2000 and 2002. He was always the heart and soul of these Ngong Road derbies in starting positions for Impala.
Yes.
Finding himself on the other side of the fence. It would be quite interesting to hear his views on try time on Wednesday. This is William Baka. Stopped short there by Samson Onsomu.
Good play. Actually, good play coming in from Harlequins there. It was a very good move between Tony Mutai and Mutai just putting William Baka into space, and William Baka just tackled a few meters short. Running a very good line there. Impala very much deep in their 22 right now. And good crowd coming into this encounter here as Samson Onsomu goes for the box kick, but it's well received there by William Baka, Frank Ndong and Oscar Osiri, the technical bench of Impala, looking a bit worried with the faces, not looking how things are. This should be the opening try. And Idris Kaikai does get the opening try for Harlequins here at the RFU at the Impala club. David Ambuja there controlling the ball very well and just offloaded the ball to Kaikai. And we've barely played 3 minutes in this game, and Kaikai getting on the scoreboard. And it's Harlequins 5, Impala 0, and literally a try out of nothing.
Indeed, Idris Kaikai with the opening salvo here. Quins with the early lead. Conversion attempt to come. This is Lyle Asiligwa from way out. But William, that's just the kind of start you need when you're playing in this kind of fixture, akin to a cup final. You need to get off the blocks as quickly as you can and maintain that momentum for the remaining 77 or so minutes of this encounter.
Absolutely. A very good start there by Harlequins. Laila Suligo with the conversion. And conversion is good. Laila Siligo there with the conversion. And Impala have work to do here. 4 minutes gone, and Idris Kaikai with the opening salvo. So Samuel Olech with the restart. Remember, it's a Ngong Road derby. Match day 8 of the 2018-2019 Kenya Cup season. Impala lying in 6th position. Lost the last 3 games. Quins on a good run of form here. And here comes Vincent Mose. What can they do? It's still early days. Not out of the woods yet, Impala. But it's Quins who are dominating. And they get the rub of the green from the referee. Mose going into contact and losing the ball there in contact as Quins get the scrum feed here. Remember, Michael Kwambo, 2 years ago we did a game between Impala and Quins on this same ground, and I think it had rained. There was a bit of, I think, rain.
Yeah, it was played in wet conditions.
Wet conditions, and Impala just didn't show up on that day, and Quins went away with the victory.
Exactly, I remember that fixture vividly. It is in total contrast.
I think Herman Humwa scored a try or 2 on that afternoon. The score was 27-something.
It actually ended 27 points to 10 on that occasion. And I was just telling you about the total contrast. That one was played in wet, slippery conditions. Total contrast to what we're witnessing here. The sun is out in full force. Temperatures playing around 29, 30 degrees. But still good for rugby. This is a massive drive from Quins. That is Jasper Chen. Full name's Jasper Chen Onen. That pass seemed wayward. Quinto Ongo having a feel of that ball, but referee Constant Cap had already called for an infringement. Penalty advantage remaining with Quins. We played 6 minutes. That try from Idris Kaikai. The difference between the two sides. And with the penalty, will they go for the 3 or will they fancy their chances at getting another 5-pointer? They elect to go for goal for the 3 points. And it is Lyle Asiligo, the man whose conversion was successful, attempting to go for goal from this penalty attempt.
Yeah, it's Quins who are having the early advantage here. And it looks like a very straightforward penalty. Remember, Quins have already lost twice this season. They lost to Menengai Oilers 14 points to 6 at the Nakuru Showground, and they lost to KCB at the RFUA ground. But so far, things going very well for Charles Kodovilis' men. They're on 26 points, and they lead here by a converted try scored by Idris Kaikai as Laila Siligwa lines up the conversion, lines up this penalty. As Siligwa's conversion is successful, that takes the score now to 10-0. And we've not even hit the 10-minute mark. It's 7 minutes only into this game. And so far,
the perfect 10, the kind of start you want to find yourself in after 7 minutes and 40 seconds of play. Impala's response will be interesting to look at. Big question is also whether Quins will be able to sustain the momentum. Ball fielded there by Bradley.
Paul Mutsami, jersey number 19. It's been Impala yet to fire a shot in this game. And Quins once again dominating the breakdown. They're able to get that turnover. Here comes Eden Agero. And Impala will have to be careful with the penalties that they're giving away here. Constant Cup, a no-nonsense referee, stickler for the laws. And some of the Impala fans there.
Well, Leroy Anyembe would like to dispute that fact. He's a Quins player.
Oh, exactly. Some of the Quins fans there, I beg your pardon, should be happy with the way things are going, but this game is an 80-minute game. But Impala yet to fire a shot in this opening 8.5 minutes of the game so far.
Indeed, everything has gone the way of the visitors, whose home venue is just less than 300 meters away, separated by a K-apple fence, the RFUA ground. This is Patrice Agunda. Carries that ball into contact. Dominic Osino cleans it out, plays it to Eden Agero. The pass is weighted to Jasper Ochen Onen. Osino just controlling his charges. The delivery to Paul Kioko. Coming up and stuck against Elkins Musonye, but presents the ball. Agero, Misango shrugs off the tackle attempt there from Eric Kopondo. Agero with the kick behind the Quins defense, and this is William Baka. Does he go over for the try? He is inches short. That was a brilliant from Eden Agero. Definitely is going to be a catalyst for Quins this afternoon. Jasper Ochen continues with the momentum for the visitors. Quins driving forward, and they get the 5-pointer. 15 points to 0. William Juguna, we are just clocking 10 minutes.
This could be a massacre here. It could be a very long afternoon for Harlequins, for Impala.
Yes, the try has been given.
The try has been given.
Let's just see that again. And it was Brian Obuaya. Actually, no try, William.
Actually, yeah, I think it's no try.
No try.
There was no clear. There was
he did not ground that ball.
The ball, by the way. So the score still stands at 10-0. But Impala leaving very dangerously here. They are yet to get out of the 22. They are yet to fire a shot in this opening 10 minutes. They are yet to settle in this game. It's been all been Harlequins. You can just feel that Harlequins have come with a game plan and intention to dominate, to win the collisions, to win at the breakdown. And so far, things going very well for Charles Kadovilis' men here. Dominic Osino with the ball. Constant Cup just trying to make sure that everything is in level pegging. It's a Gong Road derby here at the Impala Club. Match day 8 of the 2018-2019 Kenya Cup season. Quins leading by 10 points to 0. That try has been chalked off because there was no evidence of grounding by Brian Oboya, the Quins prop. So Osino with the scrum put in. Dominant scrum from Harlequins here.
Misango is at the back of that, but it is Osino who gets his hands to the ball. Plays it to Jasper Chen. He has seen a lot of ball in these opening minutes. Quins just driving forward. They are very keen to go over the Impala whitewash. You have to love the intensity with which Quins have brought to this game.
Absolutely, they have started like a house on fire from the first whistle up to now. As I keep on saying, Impala yet to fire a shot in this game. Yet to get to the Quins 22, soaking up pressure, and one way or another, the dam will probably burst. It has already busted with Idris Kaikai getting on the scoreboard. And already you can see William Barker just eyeing his options, scanning his options, scanning the range where he probably needs to go. Remember, Quins lie in third position on the log with 26 points. Impala in sixth position coming into the derby. Impala on a poor run of form. Quins having won the last 3 games, and ideally with bonus points. So Dominic Osino with the scrum put in. Osino now, Peter Misango, the skipper, controlling matters at the base of the scrum. Osino, they're going for a pushover try, and the referee's arm is out. William Barker, can he go over the whitewash? Is the referee's arm still out? No, the advantage is over, but it's still with Harlequins. Tony Mutai there. Osino finding Hilary Baraza. Osino again. Quins going to their forwards here. They're trying to muscle their way, trying to break down this Impala defense. Now, here comes Mbaka again, and he coughs up the ball, but the referee's arm is out for an advantage here. And once again, another penalty. There was a high tackle there as Dominic Osino goes for a quick tap, but the referee has said he will not allow that to happen. They're coming back to the early infringement here as Samson Onsomu goes to talk to the referee. Constant Cap. Everything that's not going the way for Impala here. It's Quins who have the rub of the green in terms of possession, territory, and sharpness. 10-0 the scoreline. 13 minutes here in the Ngong Road Derby, match day 8 of the 2018-2019 Kenya Cup season.
Remember, we have fixtures also taking place at 4 p.m. across the country. At the KCB Sports Club in Ruaraka, it is KCB against Nakuru. Over in Kakamega, it is Kabras against Mwamba. While at the Kenyatta University, it is Black Blood against Strathmore Leos. And at Jamhuri Park, Homeboys versus the Menengai Oilers. The 2 p.m. kickoff saw Nondescripts defeat Mean Machine by 17 points to 3. And the action coming to you live and free on your screens is the Ngong Road Derby between Kenya Harlequin and Impala. Quins in the white and black strip, Impala the home side in red and white. This is Dominic Osino with the scrum feed, but there is a penalty awarded for an infringement by Quins. Quins not on the mark. Obviously just slowing down play there. Samson Onsomu and the rest of his charges have an opportunity to regroup after what has been a torrid 15 minutes. 15 minutes that I've seen Idris Kaikai go over for a try with Lyle Asiligo adding a penalty and conversion.
Yeah, Quins really have come to play in this game. Impala yet to fire a shot, yet to settle in this encounter. And as things stand, could be a very long afternoon for the Saris.
This is Daniel Ndome. But Constant Cap was not happy with that tunnel. Just ensuring that everything is in order. He will be targeting Eric Kere. Doesn't reach his intended target. Frank Kalwale does well to field that ball. Kevin Okeo just smothers him to the floor. But Dominic Osino retrieves the ball. Plays it to Hilary Baraza. Quins once again looking to build. Osino. Paul Kiyoko. Unable to keep his feet, but avails the ball. That is Patrice Agunda, former Kenya Sevens international. The ball has been kicked downfield, fielded by Bradley Ochieng. Young Bradley Ochieng starting on the wing for Impala Saracens. Eden Agero We saw his brilliant play, and that was a well-weighted pass to William Baka. Weaves past two defenders before going down. The ball once again played out wide. Hilary Baraza seeing a lot of ball in these opening minutes. Herman Humwa, Osino, Tony Mtai, David Ambunya, Agunda, Osino. This is Kiyoko. Drags 2-3 defenders, hits the floor. Osino, Asiligwa, Agero, Eden Agero plays the ball out wide. William Baka finds himself in space but forced to cut back in. This is Tony Mtai, receives that ball at pace. Few more crucial meters gained for Quins. Agunda with the pass. Brian Obaya had been stopped earlier on. Once again stopped short of the try line. Unlucky for Brian Obaya.
Second time he's been stopped meters short of the try line. And Quins penalized there. But once again, Impala just leaving dangerously there. It just needed maybe a couple of more hands, and a second try for Harlequins was in the offing. Impala dodged a bullet there. They have survived. Good play coming in from the Quins forwards and backs there. Eden Agero combining very well with Dominic Osino. The 9-10 combination for Harlequins seems to be working very well. And when you've got the threat and power of William Baka out wide and the industry of Tony Mutai up front, then you do have a very potent mix for Harlequins.
Yes, indeed. You forgot to talk about the creative genius of Eden Agero at 10 and the brute strength of Herman Humwa at blindside. But that is to take nothing away from this Impala side, who have been known to conjure up victories. We've seen them time and again on the ropes. Question is, can they perform another one of those great escape acts? But it hasn't happened. 3 successive losses. They certainly will be out to curtail that. They have about 62 minutes to do so.
Yeah, a loss today for Impala takes them out of the playoff positions, depending on how other scores go. We are at the halfway point of the Kenya Cup season 2018-2019. And after a very strong start for Impala, winning the first 4 fixtures, they have suffered 3 consecutive losses to Cabras, Mwamba and Nondies. And so far here, it's all been Harlequins in the opening quarter of this encounter. So it's going to be a scramble here for Impala. Meeting of minds between both sides. Latest score from the Kakamega Showground is that after 15 minutes, Cabras are leading Mwamba by 12 points to 0. That's our latest score. We shall be updating you on other scores once we receive them.
Let's catch a glimpse there of former Kenya Sevens international Alan Onyango and his son. Alan Onyango played his club rugby at Kenya Harlequin, has since hung his boots. Samson Onsomu was expecting to receive that ball from Paul Mutsami, who elected to go back into contact. This is Onsomu. Samuel Yates looking to find space to get Impala out of this tight spot. He isn't successful, just kicks it as far as the try scorer Idris Kaikai. Anthony Nyandigisi, former Kenya international, among the players there looking to curtail his progress. Penalty advantage remains with Quins. Osino with the quickly taken penalty. Quins continuing to search for, that is Kaikai. He is driven back, but the ball is secured. Paul Kiyoko has been used as a battering ram early on by Quins. Osino. Asiligwa to Agero. He has men in support, but elects to weave through the Impala defense. A moment of magic from Eden Aguero. This is Anthony Mutai Kayemba. Osino. Siligwa to Peter Misango. Osino with the ball out wide. Quins once again have Impala on the ropes. 21 minutes played. Quins going in search of a second try. They have absolutely dominated this opening half of the first half. Paul Kioko, another big carry from the prop. Patrice Agunda does well to present that ball. Misango. Aguero does well to fend off the tackle. This is William Baka. Crucial tackle coming through from Mutsami. Asiligwa keeps it alive for Quins. This is Herman Humwa with the pop pass. Misango, Agunda, Hilary Baraza. Impala defending with their lives. Quins going in search of a second try. Herman Humwa once again. Is he going to go over the chalk? Yes, he does. That try, William Juguna, has been coming. It has finally arrived through Herman Humwa. 15-0, 22 minutes played here at the Impala Club.
Yes, that try has been coming, Michael Kwambo. It's all been Quins in this first half. They have come with a solid game plan. And that kick by by Sami Oliech. Well fitted there, by the way, by Idris Kaikai, and Quins were able to recycle the ball. Eden Aguero causing havoc with very good running lines and support play, taking out the ball out wide to William Baka. And of course, the brute force there of Herman Humwa carrying Quins to a 15-0 lead after 23 minutes. And wow, Impala just don't know what has hit them here in this opening 23 minutes of the game. You expect derby games to be very close, but so far it's very one-sided, Michael Kwambo, as Laila Siligwa attempts the conversion here at the Impala Club. Match day 8. Conversion good. That takes the score now to 17 points to 0 in favor of Harlequins.
Well, William, you talked about derby games being close. They can also be one-sided. I remember once, many years ago, Musingu High School thrashing Kakamega High School by 34 points to 0 in the provincial final in what was a school's derby in Western Kenya. So they could go either way, William.
Absolutely, yes, they could go either way. But you'd expect the rivalry of such nature between Harlequins and Impala, that the game probably is decided in the 80 minutes, probably in the second half. But as the way things stand here, Quins already have 2 tries, and maybe at the back of their minds they're chasing probably a bonus point. Good break there by Eric Kere, but there was a knock on there, and nothing seems to be going right. I don't know what Frank Ndong and Oscar Osira are going to say at halftime. They probably must be waiting for the halftime interval to go, because as things stand, it's Impala on the receiving end. Quins are dominant in all facets of play, and Quins absolutely torturing, hammering Impala as things stand now. Scrum put in here by Dominic Osino. Idris Kaikai and Herman Humwa with the tries for Quins, and the conversion and penalties by Laila Siligwa at fullback. In case you missed it, Min Machine lost to Nondies by 17 points to 3 in the 2 p.m. kickoff. Other fixtures being played are Cabras have welcomed Mwamba to the Kakamega Showground. KCB are playing Nakuru. Black Blood are hosting Menengai Oilers, and Homeboys have a date with Strathmore. Laila Siligwa with a kick here downfield. It's won by Richard Sidindi. Sidindi finds Mose. Mose with a kick downfield. It's a good kick, and it will go dead.
Well, William, just looking at it, that is probably Impala's first attempt at breaching the Quins 22. The Quins back 3 have hardly been tested over the past 25 or so minutes of this match. Dominant from Quins so far, but the Impala response is still pending.
Still waiting to see the Impala response, and that kick by Vincent Mose went out, meaning play comes back to where he took that kick. adding more pressure on Impala, who have done so much defending in this opening 26 odd minutes so far. And they're yet to fire a shot in this first half. So Dominic Osino with the scrum put in. Finds Hidden Agero. Agero now finds Ambunya. Ambunya, that was a forward pass there from Harlequins. The first mistake of the afternoon so far I've seen from the Quins side.
You know, William Juguna just looking at Idris Kaikai, the try scorer, playing in his first Ngong Road derby and emerging with a try. The man who used to play his rugby for Webuye RFC. What a huge step up to him, for him, and what a response from the young man.
17-0 the scoreline. Remember last year Impala won all three two encounters in the Kenya Cup, winning 10-8 and 34-18 in the Kenya Cup playoffs. But what a turnaround from Quins here. And the referee has called for a reset scrum. Quins just showing the dominance up front at scrum time. 27 minutes gone. The visitors, Harlequins, are leading by 70 points to 0. Combination of Peter Misango, Herman Humwa, and Patrice Agunda really wreaking havoc on Impala at the breakdown and even in open play. They seem to carry the ball over the advantage line. And even the tight five. And Impala able to hold on their play here. Here comes Onsomo. Here comes Oliech. Onsomo again. Impala forwards not able to get over the advantage line. That is man in jersey number 8, Elkins Musonye. Can Impala fire a shot here? Onsomo finds Sidindi. Now Sidindi goes into contact. First spell of possession Impala have had in this encounter, coming after 28 minutes. That just shows you how dominant Quins have been. Nyandigisi. Can Impala find something here in this game? They need to go into the halftime sheds with at least some points here. Dome runs into Agunda. Good support coming in from the Impala forwards. They have been patient so far. Quinto Ongo.
That's Kelvin Kimutai cleaning up after Quinto Ongo hit the floor. And as William mentioned, first meaningful spell of possession for Impala. They were absolutely pulverized in the opening 22 or so minutes, and they trail by 17 points to 0.
Remember, this is the Ngong Road Derby 2018-2019. Last year, winning 10-8 at the RFUA ground and 34-18 in the Kenya Cup playoffs in the quarterfinals. But what a turnaround we are seeing here today. So far, everything going the way of Impala, of Harlequins. They lead by 17 points to 0. So Quinto Ongo with the first points on offer for Impala here.
Quinto Ongo's goal attempt was unsuccessful. The scores remain 17-0 in favor of Kenya Harlequin. We're heading into the final 10 minutes of the first half. And after an electric start by Quins, the game has lulled over the past 5 or 6 minutes. Impala have been able to work their way into a few phases. No points on the board. Tries from Idris Kaikai and Herman Humwa, alongside 2 conversions and a penalty from Lyle Asiligwa, separating the two sides.
Paul Mutsami, who's seen a lot of the ball for Impala, has been, for me, their best player in this first half, and once again holding on to the ball. Good work at the breakdown there by Tony Mutai. Isolated Paul Mutsami. And the Impala club very silent here. 31 minutes gone. And Impala, masters of their own downfall. Mutsami there isolated, giving away the penalty to Harlequins. And this could be a very long, torturous afternoon for Impala, unless they respond. 17-0 the scoreline. And you feel that probably Quins would have scored a further 2 more tries in this first half. Frank Halwale with a line-out throw for Harlequins. It's won there by Tony Mutai. Osino. Asiligwa. And a shimmering, good break there from Eden Aguero. Can he find runners there? Is that a try? Yes, it is. David Ambunya, try number 3 in the bag. And it all started with that gap. And the Queen's club secretary there, Stanley Omino, must be a very happy man here. Eden Aguero with a burst here, and he had men on his side here. He finds David Ambunya, and despite a violent attempt by Samson Onsomu, Ambunya is able to go over the whitewash. And that takes the score now to 22-0 in favor of Harlequins. Michael Kwambo, this has arguably got to be one of the most lopsided Gong Road derbies we have seen in the last couple of years.
I wouldn't say that until it concludes after 80 minutes. I choose to be the optimist and believe that Impala can still offer a response. However, as you speak, it is probably on course to being one of the most lopsided. I wouldn't just call it yet.
Laila Siligo with the conversion. With the conversion kick here. The silence of the Impala club is monumental. They are down 22 points to 0.
Laila Siligwa has been sure with the boot all afternoon, and his perfect kicking record in this match continues. The conversion is successful. Quins 24, Impala 0. Quins now just 1 try away from the bonus, as you just see that again weaving his magic wand and creating the opportunity for David Ambunya to go over for his side's 3rd try. 24-0. We're into the last 6 or so minutes of the half, and what a dominant half it has been from Quins.
Halftime can come in quickly for Impala. They probably need to go to the halftime sheds and get something. A meeting of minds maybe with the coaches here, because this Ngong Road derby is so one-sided. It's embarrassing. Paul Mutsami has been the bright spark in this Impala team. Richard Sidindi, Vincent Mose. And a knock on there by Anthony Nyandigisi. Just compounding matters for Harlequins here.
That coming off a beautiful pop pass from Samuel Liech, who stays on the floor following a tackle from the Quins defenders. That was the moment Anthony Nyandigisi just let the ball pop out of his hands, spurning an opportunity to surge forward and probably create a platform for Impala to get points on the board.
The fans must be wondering what's going on here. 22-0. Impala being literally taken to the cleaners by this rampant Quins outfit. Constant cap there, man in the middle. He's done a good job in the first half. The game hasn't boiled over with any fist fights or anything, but we don't know. Maybe they could be coming at some point in the second half.
Remember last year when the referees were on strike and the match still had to be officiated. There were fisticuffs at that Ngong Road derby, which ended 10-8. And what a match that was. Not only for the fisticuffs, but for the action on the pitch.
Absolutely.
This is Domenico Sino with the scrum feed for Quins. Is picked up by Peter Misango. The tackle comes through, but Misango continues with his surge forward. Domenico Sino to Herman Humwa. Rides through 2 tackles. Creates another platform for Sino. Well, he doesn't, but it is still Quins with the momentum. That ball was on the floor. Impala were looking for the turnover. It doesn't happen. Agunda to Aguero. Aguero has literally been the conductor of the Quins orchestra. Impala have been his captive audience this afternoon.
Absolutely, yes. Eden Aguero has really had a superb game with ball in hand. And Impala penalized for offside. 4.5 minutes to the end of the first half. How time has really flown. But Quins will be the happy of the two sides here. 24 points to 0 in arguably one of the most lopsided derbies I have ever seen. The Impala bench there, Oscar Osir, Frank Ndong, and I can also see the director of rugby at Impala, Fred Oloz.
As Laila Siligwa just braces for another attempt at goal. And you know, talking of Oscar Osir and Frank Ndong, those were part of the Impala squad that won 3 successive Kenya Cups between 2000 and 2002, breaking a 26-year drought. Remember, they had last won the Kenya Cup in 1974. And there we see another member of that Kenya Cup winning side. It was actually the captain, Benjamin Naimba, on the opposite side of the fence. Laila Siligwa has been perfect with his kicking duties. And you can see what Quins are doing, going for points at every given opportunity. Another kick from Asiligwa. It goes between the sticks, takes the scores to 27-0. Laila Siligwa is having a sublime afternoon with his performance from the tee, William Juguna.
Absolutely, he's had a superb game with the kicking boot. Must have spent hours on the kicking ground this week honing that skill, because he's actually had a blinder with the kicking tee. 27-0 the scoreline here. And no, we are not lying. Don't turn off your TV set. That is the scoreline here from the Impala club. The Ngong Road Derby, the game everyone was looking forward to, is turning out to be a mismatch. It's turning out into a rout here. Anthony Nyandigisi goes into contact here, but he's well shepherded there by Hilary Baraza. Samson Onsomu finds Davis Makori. Yet to see Makori in this game, but he gets his first touch of the ball. And once again at the breakdown, Quins are so solid as Osino goes for the box kick. Richard Sidindi. Sidindi is able to go for the box kick once again, but it finds Laila Siligwa. Siligwa now looks for a pocket of space. Finds Anthony Nyandigisi. Nyandigisi now, what can he do? Goes on a good run. Nyandigisi, does he have support? Finds Onsomu. Onsomu.
He finds the floor, and this is Nyandigisi at scrum half. Eric Kere seems to have lost that ball on the tackle. You could see what Eric Kere was attempting to do, the offload, but you feel as though he was in two minds when he went into contact and obviously lost possession there. Quins with the easiest of turnovers, Asiligwa with the easiest of kicks for territory. Just easing off the pressure that was beginning to pile from Impala as we head into the final seconds of this half. 27-0, a dominant performance from Quins in the first half. Impala have been second best. Constant Cap in consultation there with assistant referee Douglas Ngetich. A picture there, Tony Mutai, a long-serving member of Quins, a member of that Quins side that won the Kenya Cup unbeaten ago. This is Kevin Okeo. Strong running from Kevin Okeo. His elder brother Moses plays for Kenya Harlequin, but hasn't made the match day squad. This is Anthony Nyandigisi. Once again, just look at that. The dominance from Quins at the contact and breakdown areas, William Chigona.
It's superb, by the way. It's very superb. They're dominating those facets of play.
And once again, forcing the errors from Impala. And you know, talking about Kevin Okeo and his brother playing for Quins, there have been a number of these sibling, I wouldn't say, is it cross-border rivalry or neighborhood rivalry. Victor Sudi Simiu move from Impala to Quins. He's still a Quinn to date, but the rest of his siblings, Innocent Simiu and Neto, family at Impala, although Innocent had, as well as Neto, they all had stints at Kenya Harlequins as well.
Absolutely, yes, they do. They all had stints at Harlequins. And
A break in play there. Samuel Yates doesn't seem to be comfortable. We had seen him go down a few moments ago from what was a heavy tackle, and again comfortable. Just catch a glimpse of the Quins players there. Michael Onsando with the dreadlocks has been part of Quins campaign this season, not selected this afternoon. Alan Onyango there and his family, former Quins player. We also got Isaac Adimo. Would he be a former or current Kenya Simbas international?
He's a current Kenya Simbas international,
but
yes.
Recovering from knee surgery, he elected to go for knee surgery on a troublesome knee and will most definitely sit out this season. Play resumes. This is Dominic Osino as the Quins pack just drives forward. Onsomu keeping an eye on that ball.
The referee's arm is out for an advantage, so already Quins have the dominant scrum here, and not like that Impala. That was a penalty all day long with the referee's arm is out.
And the man receiving, finding himself in possession there was Eric Kopondo, whose elder brother Wilson also plays for Kenya Harlequin and has captained both Quins and Kenya on numerous occasions.
A lot of sibling rivalry, brothers playing for both. And that is the halftime score here. Do not turn your TV set off. That's the halftime score from the RFUA ground, from the Impala club. Beg your pardon. Quins leading here by 27 points to 0. In the Ngong Road Derby, you will not believe it, but it's 27-0 in favor of Harlequins. And we still do have 40 more minutes of the second half to play. It's been a dominant first half by Charles Kadovilis' men, who have toyed with Impala, scoring 3 tries in this first half. And I don't know what the halftime pep talk will be at the Impala shed. What do they do? These are just some of the highlights there. William Baka causing chaos on that wing. And David Ambunya offloading there to Idrissa Kaikai to score the opening try of the afternoon. That was the first try, barely 4 minutes into the match. Kaikai going over at the corner. Quins making their intentions very much known in this first half. Hugs all round from the likes of Dominic Osino and David Ambunya. And then the penalty kicks by Laila Siligwa. And then that man there, you can see Idin Agero has had a superb game, combining very well there with William Baka. Baka has really attracted the attention of the Impala defenders, 2 defenders. And Herman Homwa getting try number 2 for Quins. And then this final try here by David Ambunya, giving Quins a superb lead here at halftime. 27 points to 0. One of the biggest margins we've had for Ngong Road Derby at halftime. Match day 8 of the 2018-2019 Kenya Cup season. So that's your halftime score, 27 points to 0. Quins leading, and they will probably be chasing a bonus point try in the second half. So the halftime score here at the Impala Club, Impala 0, Quins 27. We shall catch you for second half commentary in a few minutes.
Join me, Mohammed Abubakar, on Football 254 every Tuesday from 8:30 p.m. only on
Hi.
My name is
Dylan Kerr.
David Rudisha.
Victor Wanyama, and you're watching
Bamba Sports.
Bamba Sports.
Join me, Mohammed Abubakar, on Football 254 every Tuesday from 8:30 p.m. only on Bamba Sports of True Fans.
And we're back for the second half of this clash between Impala Saracens and Kenya Harlequins. This is the Ngong Road Derby coming to you live and free and on Bamba Sport from the Impala Club. And what a first half it has been. Quins leading by 27 points to 0. And they are already back on. Impala players just making their way back from their halftime pep talk. They are tasked with overturning a 27-point deficit. They have 40 minutes within which to do so. As you just see a confirmation of the scores heading into the second half. It is Kenya Harlequin, the visiting side in the white and black strip, leading the home side Impala Saracens by 27 points to 0. A few changes have been rafted by the Impala technical bench. Davis Makori is on. We'll confirm who he has replaced in a moment. Laila Siligwa just having a feel of that ball. Constant Cap just ensuring his timings are right. As we head into the final 40 minutes of the first installment of this season's Ngong Road Derby here at the Impala Club. Coming to you live and free on Bamba Sport. Laila Siligwa gets the second half underway. And the question is, will Impala be able to overturn that deficit? Will Quins sustain the momentum that they built in the first half? The final 40 minutes of this match will be interesting. That ball booted downfield by Samuel Lech, only as far as Eden Aguero. Aguero has been a mastermind for Quins this afternoon.
It's a good kick there from Eden Aguero. Good kick. Saw a pocket of space there and was able to put that kick into touch. And as much as it's an Impala line out, they will be under pressure from the Quins forwards there. Tony Mutai, Herman Humwa, Peter Misango, all very tall characters there who can disrupt the line out. Latest scores from other Kenya Cup matches is that Cabras are leading Mwamba by 29 points to 0, with KCB leading Nakuru 21 points to 3 at the Lions Den in Roraka. We shall be updating you on how those games go in the second half.
This is Onsomu looking to bring his forwards into play, but electing to break free. Shrugging off Domenico Sino. Does Onsomu have the pace? He is isolated, but that is a very wonderful run from Onsomu. Eric Kere.
It hit his leg, so I don't know if either try is going to be given.
It is a try. Given.
And out of nothing, finally, after 41 minutes, Impala do get on the scoreboard. And it all started with that Samson Onsomu line break. He was able even to shrug off one or two forwards there. And he just continued with his amazing run. He tried to look for a support runner. It hit the leg of Eric Kere. And Kere just continued running. He continued running and was able to ground the ball. As they say, Michael Kwambo, you have played the game at the highest level. You always play to the referee's whistle.
Exactly, and that is what Eric Kere and Samson Onsomu did. Eric Kere grounding that ball for Impala's opening try. Could this be the start of a comeback for the hosts? We have about 38 minutes to play in this half. Quinto Ongo with the conversion attempt. Ongo's kick is not accurate and the scores remain 27-5. But that was a piece of brilliant individual excellence from Samson Onsomu. And you have to give credit to Eric Kere for his awareness. Let's just see that Samson Onsomu, not the biggest man on the pitch, he actually fended off Hilary Baraza.
Yes.
And just managed to keep David Ambunya at bay. And when the ball bounced off Eric Kere's knee, Kere just kept on running, playing to the whistle, grounded that ball. Laila Siligwa with the restart.
That ball hasn't crossed the 20. Did it cross the 10-meter mark?
Yes, it barely did. There was a knock on there, and Constant Cap playing the advantage. It is Quins looking to pick up from where they left off in the first half. The tide now swinging back into their favor. Handling error there, and it will be a scrum feed for Quins at this scrum down.
3.5 minutes going into the second half, and Impala do have a try on the scoreboard, but still a long way to go in this game. They need to score another 23 odd points to take the lead. And that try by Eric Kere literally gift wrapped in favor of him. So Osino with the scrum put in, dominant scrum from Impala, and it's all messy there, the breakdown, and that ball will go out. Remember, Harlequins chasing a bonus point try. They have already scored 3 tries in the first half. The try scorers for Harlequins are Idris Kaikai, Haman Humwa, and David Ambunya, with Lilas Ligwa adding an extra 12 points, 3 conversions, and penalties, a couple of penalties there. Haman Humwa in a bit of pain there. The Ngong Road Derby, a warm welcome to those of you who are joining us on match day 8 of the 2018-2019 Kenya Cup season. Quins playing now from left to right, and Impala playing from right to left. Impala in the red and white and red socks, Quins in the white and quartered shorts. Playing from left, Impala playing from right. Daniel Dome with the line-out throw. Stolen there by Harlequins. Taken by Tony Mutai. Just speaking to the former Kenya Sevens coach, Innocent Simiu, he says that maybe the Impala forwards have seen the size of the Quins forwards and they have probably gotten scared. And that was a line out, that was a knock-on by Harlequins. And it's going to be a scramble to Impala. So Samson Onsomu to feed this ball into the scrum. Match day 8, the last Saturday of January 2019.
A very long January for some. To some, it's the 52nd of January, and they'll be happy to see the back of this weekend heading into the home stretch, William Juguna.
Exactly, and Impala finally coming to the party there. Dominant scrum. And the referee's arm is out for an advantage. And yes, they do get the penalty there as Vincent Mose goes on a scorching run here. Does he have support? Impala trying to play the game at pace. Here comes Elkins Musonye. Musonye finding...
Eric Kopondo plays it wide. This is a try-scoring opportunity spanned by Impala. Musonye played that ball to Richard Sidindi. His pass to Quinto Ongo goes begging out into touch.
And Quinto Ongo saying that there was an arm there from a Quins player as the pass was being made. And Impala just losing an opportunity just to get something from this.
That was good continuity from Kopondo. You could see Quinto Ongo actually pleading and remonstrating, making efforts to get hard, but all in naught. Tony Mutai claims that ball from the line out. Quins obviously keen to snuff out the pressure that is mounting from Impala. Dominic Osino hunting for that ball. Does he get clean ball? Yes, he does. Plays it out to Lyle Asiligwa.
It's a good kick from Lyle Asiligwa.
He has been accurate today, has not put a foot wrong, whether looking for territory or for points. The days when his kicking game goes missing, but not this afternoon. This is Eden Aguero. William Baka goes down under that tackle. Osino looking for that ball as his forwards come in to just clear. This is Tony Mutai. Osino backing instructions to his forwards. He gets clean ball. Asiligwa. Kalwale was not expecting that, and this is Ongo. Handling errors galore, and this is a foot race. Kakai is going to go over for his second try, the bonus point try for Quins. 32-5 with the conversion to come. William Juguna.
Costly error there from Impala, ball not going into hand, and Idris Kaikai reacting quickest there to score the bonus point try there for Harlequins. Once again, another handling error from Impala. And Idris Kaikai is showing the Impala defense a clean pair of heels to score try number 4 for Impala, for Harlequins. Shell-shocked Impala crowd can't believe what they're seeing. And the try is given. You play to the referee's whistle, and that takes the score now to 32 points to 5 with the conversion kick to come.
William Juguna, it is interesting that both tries scored in this half have been as a result of indecision. We saw Eric Kere just punish the indecision from the Quins players to score that try before Kaikai doing that, but also in the process leaving Edgar Obino for dead. Asiligwa still sure with his kicks, taking the conversion between the posts and the points to 34-5. Let's just see that. Kaikai pouncing on that ball, a bit of football skills there, but more importantly, it was his reaction, quick reaction, knowing what to do and getting points on the board. The bonus point in the bag for Quins. Do you think they'll relent or continue piling the pressure?
Knowing Charles Kadovilis and Benjamin Aimba, they will not be satisfied. They will go for more. They will really want to inflict a serious defeat on Impala here to take them out of the playoff equation. Good catch there by Peter Misango, able to feed Hillary, actually able to feed Tony Mutai. Aaron Oforiot, I think, has come in. And that kick, I think, play will go back to where that kick was taken. 34-5 the scoreline here at the Impala Club. So Daniel Dome with the line-out throw for Impala, won by Davis Makori. On Somo finds Paul Mutsami. Mutsami tackled there. On Somo again finds Davis Makori. Makori going into contact, is able to go over the advantage line. Dome now. Can Impala get a second? Good defense coming in from Harlequins, but it's all Impala here. Nandigisi finds one of the front rowers. That was Edgar Obino, but the referee's arm was out for an advantage, so it's going to be a penalty for Impala.
As Aaron Oforioth makes his way onto the pitch for Dominic Osino at scrum for Quins. Eric Njiru is following the action from Dar es Salaam, Tanzania. And he definitely is having a blast catching this match on the live stream. Unable to comprehend the scores and wondering why he went to Dar es Salaam in the first place.
He's there for the for the Sport Pesa Super Cup. Final tomorrow will be an all-Kenyan affair between Bandari FC and Kariobangi Sharks. But to matters rugby here, it's a Ngong Road Derby, one of the most hyped games of the Kenyan rugby calendar, but clearly not living up to the hype so far. And once again, a missed line-out. Tony Mutai, I think, with his second line-out steal of the afternoon.
Quins cleaning it up, once again snuffing the pressure that was coming from Impala. Oforio looks to have a feel of that ball, just getting his forwards involved there. Yes, he does have it. He will find territory and just look to get Quins out of their 5, but not at this particular moment. Constant Cup calling for an earlier infringement.
Just to remind our viewers that on the first game of the season, Impala, Quins led Mwamba 26-5 at halftime, but ended up winning that game by 29 points to 26. So we don't know if a comeback is on the cards for Impala. They have a lot of work to do. 28 minutes to go. And Impala penalized there, I think, for wrong entry at the mall. So Laila Siligwa with the penalty attempt, with the clearance kick. Idris Kaikai with already 2 tries. Tries being scored by Herman Humwa and David Ambunya. Match day 8 of the 2018-2019 Kenya Cup season. This was the Ngong Road Derby special. But as things stand, it's very much one-sided. 34 points to 5, the scoreline here. Frank Halwale with the line-out throw as Constant Cap's microphone and earpiece are being sorted out. So Frank Halwale, better display from Impala in this second half, in this 13 or so 14 minutes, as much as they might have considered a try, but they're playing much better than they did in the first half when they didn't fire a shot at Harlequins. So Frank Halwale with the line out throw, and it's won there by Herman Humwa. Humwa on a good run. And the referee has said that line out throw was not straight. So it's going to be a scramble for Impala. In a very promising position. So it's going to be a second reset scrum here.
The pace in the second half a lot slower than it was in the first half, but you could probably see what Quins intended to do. Run Impala rugged in the first half, run away from them as far as possible. And from the scores on our screens, you can see that they've done exactly that. 25 minutes remain here at the Impala Club. Latest score coming in from the KCB Sports Club in Ruaraka is that KCB now leading Nakuru by 28 points to 3. Bonus point is in the bag there as well.
Samuel Liech here, finding and on-cutting Ishmael Mokaya. Mokaya taken down there. Promising play by Impala here on Somu. Goes out wide to Oliech. Oliech now with a cutout pass to Edwin Anya, and Anya is over the whitewash. And Impala get their second try of the afternoon. Finally, they are responding. But could it be a little bit too little too late? Michael Kwambo, we still do have 25 so minutes to go. It was a nice cutout pass from Samuel Olech, and Edmond Anya went over the whitewash. So that takes the score now to 34 points to 10. And we still do have close to 20 minutes to go in this encounter here at the Impala Club.
Well, William Zuguna, 24 minutes is still a lot of time on the ticker. 14 points, 24 points separating the two sides. That is a margin that can be leveled and even surpassed in these 24 minutes. It just depends on Impala's mental state. And the kick from Ongo is short. It remains 34-10, but definitely, as William, you mentioned earlier, we do have a game on our hands. Let's just see that again. Samuel Liech with a weighted pass to Ishmael Mokaya. He attacks that space, creating the platform. And then see this, the distribution out wide. Oliech once again knows that Edmond Anya has acres of space and pace as well, but the work was easy and Anya just goes over the chalk there.
But those 7 points by Impala have missed with the 2 conversions and the penalty could really come back to bite them much later in the day, because they would have halved the score as we speak.
Exactly, but they can do it the hard way and look for 5 unconverted tries to win by 35 points to 24.
That's a very long stretch of the imagination. It will mean that Quins don't score any more points from now till the end of the game, which is highly unlikely. I still think that probably Quins have a try or two up their sleeves. But as things stand, they do have a 24-point buffer, and they will not be too concerned unless they lose their shape and direction for the better part of the second half.
William, there have been comebacks in this Kenya Cup, amazing comebacks. I remember one close to 10 seasons ago, Mwamba versus KCB. KCB were leading that match 35-12 with about the same period of time left on the clock. Mwamba won that game by 36 points to 35. You just never know. But I think for this one, the team that wants it is going to run away with the score. Impala standing up to them, and we still have 22 minutes to play. And just trying to take the neutral point here and not being one-sided.
Yeah, time on their side for Impala, but they'll have to play much better and play in the right areas of the pitch and capitalize on the opportunities they get. A very quiet Impala club, home of Impala Saracens. They are down by 34 points to 10. The halftime score was 27-0. A very clinical first half from Charles Kadovilis' men. And it's going to be a scramble for Harlequins. Here comes Peter Misango. Misango able to get over the advantage line. Presents the ball now to Aaron Oforioth. Oforioth now finds Eden Aguero. Aguero has been very quiet in the second half. And Laila Siligo already showing his worth there, bumping off a defender.
This is Oforioth once again with the distribution. The tackle comes through, the attempted tackle from Samuel Liech. Looks to have come off the worst there. The penalty advantage remains with Quins. Tony Mutai pointing to the touchline. Aaron Oforioth pointing to the posts. Fingers pointing everywhere. Touchline, posts. A decision has to be made. Finally it is. And it is penalty attempt once again.
The two gentlemen, Laila Siligwa and Aaron Oforioth. And finally Oforioth has his say. It will be a penalty attempt.
And that was a good physical encounter between Asiligwa and Ongo, but also the ensuing offload from Asiligwa. Brilliant piece of skill. Still hasn't put a foot wrong in this afternoon's Ngong Road derby, Laila Asiligwa.
Impala have just woken up in the second half. They've been able to score 2 tries, but they've given them a penalty here in kicking range for Laila Siligwa.
This is a big kick from Laila Siligwa.
He misses it, but won't be too bothered with that.
And that's his first miss of the afternoon as the scores remain 34-10. 20 minutes remaining here at the Impala Club. Quins comfortably in the driver's seat. There has been a response from Impala. Feeble at best, but still a response.
Yeah, 2 tries by Impala, scored by Eric Kere and Edmond Anya, as Oliech goes for the 22-meter dropout. It finds...
that was Asiligwa fielding that ball. Aaron Oforioth with that kick high and deep into Impala territory. Vincent Mose had problems fielding it. This is going to be an easy try if they're able to field it. Talk about spurning a try-scoring opportunity. That was a bit comical.
Absolutely.
Almost tragic.
2 men going for the same ball and they couldn't get their hands to the ball. But I can understand, I mean, the nature of a rugby ball, the bounce of a rugby ball can confuse the very best of us. And he just needed someone just to put his hand there or dive on it probably.
But for a moment there, Lyle Asiligwa looked like an Olympic gymnast with that split. But he is back on his feet. Should have just reached out for that ball in a more conventional manner. But hey, he's the guy on the field. We're the guys behind the microphone.
Yeah, the guys behind the microphone, yes. And Impala now have to absorb a bit of pressure from Harlequins with this scrum put in. It is a scrum put in according to the referee. Aaron Oforioth here and Laila Siligwa both chasing the same ball. My instinct probably would have been to dive on that ball and probably go for a rack or for the breakdown. As Laila Siligwa, as Samson Onsomo feeds that ball into the scrum. And the referee penalizes Aaron Oforioth. And once again, Paul Mutsami, costly error from him. He went for a quick tap and what was that, by the way? Impala just need to be patient as much as they're chasing the clock. You can see Mutsami. Michael Kwamba, what's that call called?
Well, that is a blood rush.
Yes, to the brain. Yes, to the brain. Yes, to the brain. 34-10 the scoreline. 17 minutes to go here at the Impala Club. Match day 8 of the 2018-2019 Kenya Cup season. And Quins dominated the first half. Second half at least has been a bit more competitive. Impala have really put up an attempt to narrow the gap, but it's still Quins who have a 24-point buffer of Forioth. And Misango is at the back of that scrum. He's had a good game alongside Herman Humwa. And Impala have been able to win that ball, but the referee has deemed it illegal. So what option do Impala go for? Actually, Quins actually go for the sticks. It should be a simple penalty for Lyle Asiligwa.
16 minutes remain here at the Impala Club. It is Quins firmly in control. Lyle Asiligwa has been sure with all but one of his kicks for goal. As William Juguna rightly put it, this one is straightforward. And you know, Lyle Asiligwa has looked quite at home playing at fullback. He has been capped for Kenya at scrum half. I think that tactical move by Charles Kadovelis in the long run paying dividends. Of course, a lot more fixtures yet to come. This is Lyle Asiligwa. He is sure with the penalty attempt. The scores are now 37-10. 15 minutes remain here at the Impala Club. It is the visitors, Kenya Harlequin, firmly in the driver's seat. Impala, the willing passenger on this journey to defeat.
Samuel Lesh now with the restart into the final 15 minutes of this game. Won there by Tony Mutai, who's had an outstanding game at second row.
And another replacement for Quins, the veteran Kenyan-born former Uganda international George Scott Olwatch is into the back row. An alumnus of St. Mary's Yala before going to Uganda for his higher education. Played for a raft of clubs in Uganda, including Heathens and Rhinos, to name but a few.
Here comes Edward Gatungo. Yes, solid tackle from Quins.
This is Daniel Ndome maintaining the forward movement for Quins as referee Constant Cap plays the advantage. Samuel Liech slices through a tackle but is brought down there by George Scott Olwatch. Eric Kere, the man who scored Impala's opening try. Another carry for Rom, the former Kenya Simbas international. Ndome has been busy. Onsomu. This is Eric Kopondo. Kelvin Kimutai. Davis Makori on as a second half substitute. Excites the crowd here as he just fends off 2 or 3 Quins defenders. Impala coming close to the Quins try line. Eric Kopondo. That was Edwin Gatungo, not Eric Kopondo. And now this is Edmond Anya, loses his footing. Vincent Mose looking for clean ball, takes the quick tap penalty. Vincent Mose. Cap is playing the advantage. Davis Makori has been busy, has been the go-to guy for Impala since coming on. And then the advantage swings the way of Quins for a simple handling error.
And the referee's patience has been tested, and Quins down to 14 men.
That is the new man, Melvin Thairu, less than 10 minutes old on the field of play. He is sent to the sin bin. Quins will play the next 10 minutes with 14 men. Penalty advantage going to Impala. There must have been an indiscretion that we missed, because initially Constant Cap was playing the advantage for the handling error.
Yes, he was playing advantage, so I can take a couple of substitutions. I think Elisha Coronia has come in, and one of the Quins substitutes will let you know in a few minutes. 12 and a half minutes to go. Can Impala get a third try?
Meanwhile, at the KCB Sports Club in Ruaraka, champions KCB leading Nakuru by 42 points to 6. As you just see the guilty man there, Melvin Thairu, yet to take up his seat in the sin bin. He finally does. He will see out the remaining 10 minutes in the sin bin.
$37 points to 10, the scoreline. Dominant first half by Harlequins, giving them a 27 point. They do have the bonus point in the bag, meaning they will still finish, they will still be in third spot in the log come the end of this day. Remember, the Kenya Cup takes a break next week. We resume hostilities on the 9th of February with a big mouth-watering clash here at the RFUA ground between Harlequins and Cabras.
And the latest score from Kakamega is that Cabras Sugar putting Mwamba RFC to the sword. Current scores 43-5. Second half action from Kakamega.
So the top three positions will remain unchanged as far as the Kenya Cup log is concerned. Here comes Onsomu. Onsomu now tries to find his way, but good defense coming in from Harlequins. Composure will be needed by Impala here to get a third try. And not getting over the advantage line.
Xavier Kipngetich is on at fly half. Remember, he doubles up as a Kenya Simbas international. And what a year he had last year, from captaining the Kenya under-20s to making his senior national team debut. Samson Onsomu.
Another card coming out here, so Quins down to 13 men. Wow. So there is a card which has come out. We just will let you know the identity of the player who's been sent to the bin. I thought I saw second card. Remember, Quins down to 14 men, but they have a 37-10 lead here over Impala into the final 10 minutes of this game. Time has really flown, Michael Kwambo. This game started off at 4 p.m. and we're coming to the last final 10 minutes of this game.
True indeed, William. That first half was played at a frenetic pace, more so by Quins. I think it was close to 25 minutes before Impala made a visit to the Quins 22. This is Edgar Obino. Actually, it was Elkins Musonye.
Front rows, I think, are collapsing there.
Edgar Obino there in shirt number 17 in the front row. This is Onsomu with the scrum feed. 9 minutes to play here at the Impala Club. Roxy Suchi is the man who has joined his teammate Melvin Thairu in the sin bin. Quins are down to 13 men. And they continue to defend resolutely as Impala pile the pressure, looking for a third, probably even fourth try to at least gain a bonus point for scoring 4 tries. The game now, William Juguna, you can say, is safely out of Impala's reach.
Absolutely, yes. It's all about respectability. There was a knock on there, so it's going to be a Quins scrum feed. George Scott Oloch there, the man at the back with the beard.
Born and raised in Kenya, but represented Uganda.
Steve Juma has come in place of
Edgar
Obino.
Steve Juma is a former Kenya under-20 international. Had 2 caps for the Simbas, but that was close to 7 years ago. This is Scott Oloch, just fends off Eric Kopondo, much to the excitement of the crowd here at the Impala Club. Aaron Oforioth reaches for that ball, plays it to Eden Aguero, has had a rather quiet second half. His duty at this particular moment in time was to kick the ball into touch only as far as Vincent Mose. Searching run from the veteran Vincent Mose. Is he going to go all the way? Vincent Mose, desperate tackle coming through. That was electric from Vincent Mose.
Super from Vincent Mose.
But you have to give it to Quins. They were alert on defense, but just see this Vincent Mose slicing through the Quins defense like a hot knife through butter.
It actually took Matwanje to take him out into touch. It's a snapshot of the crowd who've come to watch this Gong Road derby, which has been pretty much one-sided. It's a long line-out throw there from Frank Alwale, and the referee has called it back. The line-out throw was not straight, so advantage swinging back to Impala. Impala have had a couple of opportunities here, only that they've not taken them, especially in this last 10-minute spell. They've been knocking on the door of Harlequins, but they've not been able to get any further scores. And as things stand, they could be out of the Kenya Cup playoff positions come the next 30 or so minutes. Samson also with the scrum put in. Oh, the referee, Constant Cap, not happy with what he's seeing in the front rows. So I guess the top three in the Kenya Cup will not change this Saturday afternoon. Cabras will still be at the top, followed by KCB and Quins. Looks like all three teams will have scored bonus point wins. On Somu now, dominant scrum there from, and it's a penalty try awarded to Impala.
And that takes the scores to 37-17. Penalty try after repeated infringements, but look at Quins, they're playing with 13 men. They're 2 men short in the forwards. That was bound to happen.
So technically Impala have won the second half.
Technically. But overall
definitely it's a Quins win, but technically Impala have had the better scoreline in the second half. But that will be crumbs for comfort for Impala, who are succumbing to a 4th consecutive Kenya Cup defeat. Cabras beating them 41-10, Mwamba beating them 2016, Nondies beating them 22-10, and today their fiercest rivals from across the fence beating them by 37 points to 17. The referee's arm is out for Harlequins. I don't know for Youth.
A bit of a tussle there with Anthony Nyandigisi. Nyandigisi finding it difficult to roll away as the Quins charges just clear it out. Eden Agero gets some clean ball. Patrice Agunda has been rather quiet, hasn't seen too much of the ball, has been more of a boiler room man this afternoon. Is Messi on the floor there. Xavier Kipngetich.
Gatungo, the referee has called it back.
Are we going to see another yellow card? I think there was an intentional knock-on. They probably feel Constant Cap doesn't want to reach into his pocket just yet. Awards the penalty instead to Impala, and this is Vincent Mose once again. Samson Onsomu has Davis Makori in support. Makori to Onsomu, bumps off Orioth, and once again the crowd is excited. Makori, Nyandigisi. Nyandigisi plays it through to Daniel Ndome. Daniel Ndome is surging forward. Onsomu. Then the handling error from Ishmael Bokaya just breaks that momentum that Impala were building.
Absolutely, but the referee has arm was out.
This is Makori once again, barging over for another try, a 4th try. I do believe this is a bonus point try for them. Yes, it is. 20-37.
3.5 minutes to go. And remember, Quins are playing with 13 men, but the discipline also is a bit of a problem, because as we saw from that breakdown, there was an arm, there was a leg out there as Zambia Kipngetich was going out. And actually Zambia is not even waiting for the kick in tee, he wants to go for the drop goal immediately.
You can see the urgency, and the conversion is successful. High drama here at the Impala Club from a barnstorming start by Quins in the first half. The response from Impala initially was feeble at the start of the second half, but they've just sustained it. They've huffed and puffed. The question is, can they blow the Quins house down? They're just 13 points behind Quins. 2.5 minutes to play here at the Impala Club.
At one point, yes, they were down by 27 points to 0. But what a great response from Impala. But you just get the feeling, had they played like this in the first half, we could be talking about a very close game. Quins have 2 minutes to spare. Frank Wanyama then the picture, George Scott on watch. And Quins did all the hard work in the first half. And once again, that try by Idris Kaikai in the second half is what probably has taken the stuffing out of Impala. Onsomu. And yes, there was an arm there. There was a knock-on from Impala.
And Roxy Suchi making their way back for Quins onto the field of play. They're now back to their full complement of 15 men. Impala have done well to seize on that two-man advantage, getting 2 tries, 13 points separating them from Quins. Precious little left on the clock.
Yes, into the final few seconds of this game. The Gongro Derby, how time has really flown by. And Quins going to emerge victorious here in this installment of the Gongro Derby 2019. They will stay they will stay third on the log on 31 points. And those 7 points by Quinto Ongo, which were missed with those kicks, going to be proving difficult. Here comes Samson Onsomo. Onsomo. It's a Mole here. Who has the ball? It's with Quins. I don't know, for Yoth. Going for the box kick. Meat and drink for Edmund Anya.
Wipes himself with a serviette as he just gets play resumed.
The time is up here. Kenya Harlequins will get the victory. Unless Impala can go coast to coast. The referee, Constant Cap, has called it back. It's fielded there by William Mbaka. Mbaka passes the ball now to Eden Agero. Agero going for the box kick. Finds Frank Wanyama. Wanyama. Kenya Sevens international.
This is Hilary Baraza at scrum half. Plays that ball to Melvin Thairu. Can Quins break into the 40-point barrier? No, they will not when that decision goes against them. Can Impala chase this game? They've already gotten 1 bonus point for scoring 4 tries. Can they get a second for losing by less than 7 points? Time is up on the clock. Playing the referee's time. This is Edmund Anya. Goes down in a spot of bother but does well to avail that ball. This is big Steve Juma. All 122 kilos of him. Quickly taken penalty from Anthony Nyandi Gisi. That looked high on Onsomu. This game just degenerating as we head into the final moments. Onsomu with the show and go. Desperate tackle coming through from Patrice Agunda. Mokaya with that pass wasn't well fielded, and this is Oforioth finds himself in possession, and that looks like Aaron Oforioth is being mugged in a Nairobi street corner. It's like they want to relieve him of everything, his wallet, his shoes, the ball, because that was high, and Elkins Musonye walking away.
Peter Misangwa trying to have a word now with Constant Cap.
You obviously feel Constant Cap restraining himself, doesn't want to issue any more cards. just awards Quins the penalty. I don't know, Forioth is going to kick that ball out into touch, and it's full time. Quins running off with the 37-24 result here at the Impala Club. This is a fourth successive defeat for Impala, but for Quins, they stay third on the log. A big result, and they will definitely be celebrating at the Quins clubhouse, which is about 333 meters from here, William Jugun.
I like your exact 333 meters exactly away from from Impala. That's the final score here. Impala 24, Quins 37. Quins leading 27-0 at halftime. They took the gas off the pedal in the second half. Impala running away with 4 tries. Impala do get a losing bonus point, but it's cramps for comfort for the Saris, Frank Dong and Oscar Osir. They lose their 4th consecutive game, and as the results will come in, they will have probably be out of the Kenya Cup playoff positions. So we shall take you now to Mohamed Abubakar for interviews with the 2 coaches, Frank Dong and Charles Kaduvilis.
But before we do that, we shall go into the highlights, and then after that, we join Moha pitchside for the post-match interviews. And this was that opening salvo in the second half. Darting run from Samson Onsomu. Eric Kere with the fortuitous bounce off his knee. He just kept on going. And those are the opening points for Impala Saracens. But you have to give credit to Samson Onsomu for that darting run. Eric Kere for following through and playing through to the referee's whistle. And then similar luck. And any moment now, we will be joining Mohamed Abubakar downfield with the post-match interviews. My name is Michael Kwambo, handing you over to Mohamed Abubakar.
All right, thank you very much, Michael. Yes, it is over. The Ngong Road Derby, 80 minutes are over. Quins are taking this one 37-24 against Impala. Impala came back in the second half very strong, but the margin was just too big to close. We have the coaches here of we'll start with the coach of Impala, of course, and let him give us his thoughts on how the game unfolded. Coach Frank, how do you make actually, it's more of a game of 2 halves if you look at it. But overall assessment of your boys' performance today?
What we did the second half is what we should have done in the first half. Quins dominated the first half totally, and they got the points to win them the game.
What do you think did not happen in that first half? Because 27-0 is a very huge margin, and you did come back strong in the second half. What did you tell them at halftime?
We were slow off the blocks. Our defense was a bit loose. Our set pieces were from hell, so we just fixed our tight play a bit, worked on our defense, and put them under pressure.
This is 4 losses now on the trot for Impala. Are you worried now in terms of the places for the playoff spots?
As long as we don't lose again, we'll be in business. Yeah.
So what are the plans now going forward? Because you need to change this quick.
Yes. We need Oilers. One thing we need to get is get the team in. Such games can make or break you. So some positive points we'll pick from this game. We've learned the hard way, and we'll pick from that.
All right, all the best, coach, in the upcoming games. All right, it's been a thoroughly entertaining game here, especially the second half. Impala bringing the game to Harlequins. We have the assistant coach of Quins, Mr. Benjamin Aimba. Karibu sana. We finally meet on the ground.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. You thought you were going to avoid me. Yeah. I'm here with you.
What do you make of the game, first of all?
Super game. I think we took the game early to Impala. They were able to live with our scrum, and we capitalized on that in the first half.
How important was it to have that huge margin? Because clearly this has been a game of 2 halves. The second half, Impala came stronger, but that margin was safe for you.
Yes, with a W, you expect anything. So when you have the chokehold on your opponent, you make sure that you don't release it. And that for us, that was the case. So as many points as you could in the first half, and try and keep the pressure on in the second half. Of course, they came up with better resilience, and getting 2 of our boys out at the crucial moment did not help us much. The win was already sealed.
You've been talking about discipline for a long time now, and clearly in the second half, the last minutes, 2 of your players were sent to the sin bin. They scored 2 tries in that.
Actually, think those were not yellow card offences. When you're warned once, it can't be a yellow card offence unless it's a huge infringement. You can't call a yellow card on an offside.
And he did that twice. So there's only so much you can do. It's a derby, like I said. Anything can happen. But I think I was pretty pleased with the boys.
You can say it's a double win here because you're taking pride away from this game. You're owning Gong Road for now. And of course at the table as well, the top 3 is secured. It's the same. You've pushed away from the boys that are behind.
Yes, that was very important for us, at least in this game, because we have Cabras next after the Enterprise Cup. So it is important that we seal that early enough. So going into the Enterprise Cup, we start reorganizing ourselves for the next leg of Kenya Cup games.
All right, all the best, coach, in the upcoming games. Cheers. That was Coach Benjamin Ayimba, the assistant coach of Harlequins. It's full time here at the Impala grounds. Quins taking it, the Gong Road derby against Impala Saracens, 37-24. It's been a good day of rugby. Join us again on Match Day 9. Until then, keep it sporty.